than we've been able to do in the past.
For more information on laser ablation brain surgery, talk with your neurosurgeon or call the Henry Ford Hermelin Brain Tumor Center at 888-777-4167. I'm Lloyd Jackson for WJR Health Watch.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It is St. Patrick's Day. Lloyd decked out in his green. You look good.
Thank you, sir. I have to do my green today for St. Patty's.
I don't own anything green.
Very few items in my closet are green.
I own nothing green. Did you know that St. Patrick was actually not Irish?
No, I did not know that.
He was...
Was he a brother? I'm just, hey, he wasn't Irish. I just asked.
Well, first of all, there could be brothers that are Irish.
No. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe, I mean, more so now as opposed to then.
Yeah.
But he was born in Roman Britain. So he was actually not officially Irish. He was enslaved in Ireland for 6 years before he escaped. He returned on a missionary convert to Irish. He converted to Christianity, and that's how he became the patron saint.
Okay.
But St. Patrick, not officially Irish.
Wow.
Which I always find to be very fascinating.
Okay.
I've had several beers this morning already. I'm ready to roll.
Were they green? Or
Of course they were green.
Okay.
Yeah, of course they were green.
All right.
I got to tell you, no, I'm actually exhausted, and we'll talk about this maybe at 7:35, but I went on a wild goose chase last night. And for St. Patrick's Day, I'll explain, but it was ridiculous. Meanwhile, the latest on Iran, a couple of breaking news stories this morning. First of all, the U.S. Embassy in Iraq was hit by drones. There was a cocktail of drones and missiles. There were 3 drones heading in the direction of the embassy this morning, according to Reuters. The defense system in that area that the United States has in place struck down 2 of them. One of those drones did hit inside the embassy compound. There was smoke and fire rising from that area. No reports of any casualties at this point. We don't know. There hasn't been any contact, at least reported, with the U.S. Embassy at this point. But that's happening at just in the last couple of hours here, that the U.S. Embassy has been hit in Iraq.
Also breaking news about 30 minutes ago that Israel says it's killed Iranian security chief Ali Larijani, which is a central figure in this military response of Iran right now. And earlier, President Trump says he's got to postpone his summit with the Chinese leader because he has to focus on what's going on with Iran. But I was listening to an analyst talk about this, and it's like, how big of a deal is it that this person is killed? And they're like, well, they have someone waiting in the wings to step up. And like through 4 levels down, there's a plan for people to have someone step in case something happens to them. So we'll see the impact of this killing.
It's still chaos, though. Like it's one thing to have somebody. It's like when the president of the United States convenes for the State of the Union. There's always the designated survivor.
Sure.
Right. One person
That's right.
isn't there. They're in a safe location in the event something catastrophic happens. But if something catastrophic happens, it's chaos. Right. And so it's the same situation here where, yes, there are plans in place, to your point, and they have to be. And I'm sure they've been in place for some time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's not chaos.
It's different when it actually happens.
Right.
As a word plan.
And the Strait of Hormuz continues to be a major issue for the United States. The president, I don't quite follow where he's going on this, because yesterday he also said on Air Force One, like, well, maybe we don't even need to be in the Straits. Like, who cares? We produce enough oil. We're fine. But that's not how that works.
No.
And he's calling on all of these other countries to come, NATO countries, but China as well.
Yes.
Calling on them to come and try to make the case that either the Strait should be open, or B, that there should be some sort of security there to help usher these tankers through. So, the president is unclear about what he wants or what should be done. At one point, he's talking about bringing all these countries in to help. And then at the other point, he's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't even be there in the first place.
Yeah, and countries that have had steep tariffs placed on them, and he's made mention of a bunch of these countries, so they aren't quick to sort of help as of right now. He also said he spoke to a former president yesterday. He said it a couple times, but quote, "I've spoken to a certain president who I like, a past president, former president. He said, I wish I did it. I wish I did, but they didn't do it. I'm doing it." And he's talking about Iran. An aide for George W. Bush said they haven't been in touch. An Obama aide said there's been no recent conversations. White House says it's not Joe Biden. The Clintons say it wasn't them. So who was it? Who's fibbing?
Just my confession here. I actually forgot about Joe Biden. I'm like, who are the other living presidents? I'm like, I think that's it. No, I did forget. That's my bad. But yes, I don't think that they would have spoken either.
Right. So it's like, why say that?
I don't know.
Nobody had asked him, had he spoken to a former president. He just kind of said it.
No, and the point is, he's like, I am doing this because this is something that needs to be done. I've maintained, look, this is an opportunity for the United States to go in when they didn't necessarily always have had those opportunities.
Yeah.
Well, now they have, and I didn't think that. I thought this was the appropriate move at this point. I don't know what you benefit from by saying, well, I talked to somebody else that said they wish they would have done it. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
There's a possibility that somebody's fibbing. It could be one of this former president, or it could be President Trump.
Somebody's fibbing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, who you have your bets on? The vice president's office confirmed yesterday that J.D. Vance will visit Auburn Hills on Wednesday, tomorrow, to deliver remarks at a local manufacturing facility. The trip to Oakland County comes at a somber time in the community. It's been less than a week since the attacker drove that truck into the Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield before taking his own life following that shootout with security. While the manufacturing site has not yet been named, the visit marks Vance's third trip to Michigan this year, and with the state's pivotal gubernatorial and Senate elections just 7 months away, the vice president continues to signal that Michigan remains a top priority for the administration.
Excellent.
Yeah, certainly.
The Red Wings needed to beat the Flames, and they did. They beat them 5-2. The Red Wings have 82 points. They have the first wild card as of right now, 1 point over the Boston Bruins. So, I mean, it's precarious. They have to win these games. And then when you look at the schedule and what's coming up for the Red Wings, the next game for the Red Wings is Montreal on Thursday at 7:00, then Boston on Saturday. So these games matter now.
The Eastern Conference is crazy this year because nobody's that good. Nobody's really good. And you look at where they are, they have 82 points.
Mm-hmm.
Montreal's got 82. The Islanders have 81, but they're in the Atlantic. So you're looking at Buffalo and Tampa Bay and Montreal. Well, Tampa Bay's got 84 points, and they're number 2 in the Eastern Conference. So they just have to, you got to stay pace.
Yes.
You got to stay pace. You can't have the stretch that they were just previously on. They got to start putting some wins together here.
Well, it's not a done deal that they're the wild card either. They could get a spot in the Atlantic.
That's my point, is they're all very close there, but they got to keep pace. Have you been watching any of the World Baseball Classic?
I've been watching the headlines, and I know the championship is tonight with Team USA.
Yep.
Team USA and Venezuela.
Yes, 8 p.m.
I will be tuning in. Tuning in. It's been fun from what I've seen. I actually also haven't been completely dialed into it, but it's been fun.
I kind of wanted Italy to make it because they were making espressos in the dugout. They were having some fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's kind of cool.
They're just out there at second base, just
that's all right.
Buzzing.
Hey, you're paying attention.
That's right. We're going to hear from Mark Wayne Mullen this week. He has been tapped to lead the Department of Homeland Security. What do we expect to hear from him? We'll talk to Jason Rowe next on JR Morning.
Spring maintenance isn't just about looks, it's about safety too.
Check your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms.
Inspect decks and railings for loose boards or winter damage before outdoor gatherings begin.
And seal driveway cracks now before spring moisture makes them worse.
For the area's most trusted contractors to help you with your next home project, visit the guys at InsideOutsideGuys.com. That's InsideOutsideGuys.com. Windows.com.
Sponsored by Performance Remodeling.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday with Performance Remodeling and their Red, White, and Renew promotion. To celebrate, you can get up to 25% off and up to $250 in cash just for getting a quote on windows, roofing, or siding. Don't miss out on this American-made offer. Visit windowsroofingsiding.com and sign up today. Performance Remodeling, proudly improving homes the American way.
Performance Remodeling. Your home is our business.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
At Average Amy's Coffee Corner, our coffee has caffeine, our muffins are cooked, and our services, well, we're here. Come on by for an average cup of joe.
Average doesn't build great businesses. Cumulus Digital does, outperforming industry benchmarks by more than 25%. We deliver smarter digital marketing to over 4,000 local businesses every month and drive real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
This St. Patrick's Day weekend, keep our community safe from drunk driving. If you celebrate a little too much, don't rely on the luck of the Irish. Use a rideshare or designated driver from your friends at Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? Whether it's due to job loss, a divorce, a new business venture, or you just didn't file your taxes, don't lose hope. Powerful relief programs are now available that can help you and may reduce or even eliminate what you owe the IRS. With the cost of living affecting millions across the country, Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying anyone with $5, $50, or even $500,000 in back taxes to the IRS to call to get relief options. With over 1,000 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, TRA is America's trusted choice for real tax relief. Relief options are now available that can give you a fresh start and peace of mind. End your tax nightmare today by calling our tax relief hotline. Dial 800-390-8478. 800-390-8478. That's 800-390-8478. Or visit TRA.com. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Dan Bongino Show.
It's our movement, okay? It's ours. We built it.
Hard truths.
Remember, I just told you, flooding the zone with facts not related to evidence is not getting to truth, it's obscuring it. Don't accuse me of partisan bias here. This show tries to get to a truth lodestar by showing you things called evidence, not random facts unrelated to the point. Well, let's get to truth. Let's produce actual evidence. There's only one choice, man.
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
See you there.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
Couple of crashes on the roads already this morning. Southbound 75 at Outer Drive. That one's off to the right shoulder. Same with westbound 94 between Division Road and 26-mile traffic. Very slow through that stretch. And Van Horn closed in both directions at 4th Street until March 24th. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Behind our front, the cold air sticking around and wind advisory is expiring, but still some gusty winds early today and a breeze this afternoon and maybe some snow showers coming in. 30 should do it. Cold St. Patrick's Day. Deuces tonight, mainly cloudy. Suburbs will be down into the teens. Wednesday, cloudy, a little bit better with a south breeze, upper 30s. Near 50, though, on Thursday. Chance of rain. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Searching and searching up and down the dial for NCAA men's basketball. All the most important games from this week's giant matchup right down to the final game. What are you searching for? You're already there. The NCAA playoffs are here, courtesy of Westwood One on 760 WJR.
So tomorrow, the U.S. Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee will hold confirmation hearings for Markwayne Mullin, the senator out of Oklahoma. He has been chosen to lead the department after Kristi Noem's, we'll call it reassignment.
Yeah. Okay.
You can call it that.
I think she was
Uh-huh.
shown the boot
Uh-huh.
on her job. And now it's going to be Markwayne Mullin, and he has to go through the confirmation process, although he does have probably a pretty good jump start here because he is a sitting senator. He has relationships with many of the people in the high chamber. What do we expect to hear from him? Let's bring in Jason Rowe, the principal of Rowe Strategic, to talk about it. Jason, good morning.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day. So let's talk about Markwayne Mullin. We've heard from him over the last couple of weeks that he wants Democrat support, that he wants to have meaningful answers to their questions. It sounds like he's been going around making those rounds to talk to all of the senators. What have you made of that? And what do you want to hear from him during these confirmation hearings that start tomorrow?
Well, I think because it's DHS and they oversee ICE, and obviously we have the controversies of what happened in Minneapolis several weeks ago. I expect he's going to get a grilling. He's one of President Trump's closest allies in the Senate. He's very close ally of Senate Majority Leader John Thune, but he's also really popular among Democrats in the Senate, surprisingly. He is known as a deal maker. He's somebody that has reached out to other Democrats. I know John Fetterman, who often breaks with the Democrats in the Senate, has already indicated he plans to vote for him. And there have been some of the other more partisan Democrats that have said nice things about him. But I think what they want to hear, and I think what probably most Americans are going to be interested in, to the degree they pay attention to a Senate confirmation hearing, is what's going to be different under a Secretary Mullin regime as compared to a Secretary Kristi Noem regime. And obviously, she had some pretty big hiccups. And right now, you've got TSA and DHS that are closed down right now over the kind of partisan fighting over ICE going on in the Congress right now. So that's going to be another element. But the Democrats are holding up funding because they want reforms of ICE, and it'll be interesting to see what, if any, of the reforms they're proposing he would agree to.
Yeah, I mean, because I was wondering, you expect Mullin to be, pressed on those changes that the Democrats want to see, because they say they're not going to fully fund DHS until those changes are made. Could tomorrow start some type of negotiation between the Democrats and Mullin to try to come to some type of compromise so we can get TSA and the rest of these agencies open under DHS?
Well, Lloyd, what I'm hoping is that it starts a focus on what's going on. I mean, it's remarkable to me that you see people waiting in line at the airports for several hours. You have now our TSA agents who have twice now not gotten paid. You have, I think I heard on the news last night, 300 TSA agents have already quit. Spring break is about to start in earnest, and it's going to have a huge impact. And the fact that there seems to be no urgency whatsoever in Washington to address this is troubling. So it's my hope that this hearing kind of triggers more awareness to what's going on. I mean, we are now engaged in armed conflict in the Middle East with our top enemy, Iran. The idea that we wouldn't have our Homeland Security Department fully funded to make sure that nothing happens on U.S. soil. We've had at least 2 Iran-inspired terrorist attacks from, domestic terrorists. But, we've heard some conversations about potential sleeper cells of terrorists. If we experience a terrorist attack by Iran sleeper cells or any more militant than a, domestic terrorist, God forbid, what's going to happen to the politicians over something like that. I mean, right now, this is abdicating their responsibilities to protect the American citizens, both in terms of air travel, but also in terms of protecting us from terrorism domestically.
Back to sort of who Markwayne Mullen is. From all reports, it seems like he has friends on both sides of the aisle. He works out with people. He has his candy shack at his desk or whatever. So it seems like there could be some room here for Democrats. Do you see that?
No, I definitely do. I mean, I don't think it's going to be about Markwayne Mullen. I think it's going to be about DHS, ICE, and the Trump administration. So he's going to be put in the position of having to defend the Trump administration and maybe even having to defend Kristi Noem. I think what Democrats hope is that he will create some daylight between himself and the administration in some areas that give them an excuse to support him. I'm not terribly optimistic. I mean, frankly, I'll be surprised if any Democrats beside John Fetterman cross over, but I don't think that's going to be an impediment to him getting passed. You've got a very animated progressive base that's holding Democrats accountable. That's why we have the shutdown is they're genuflecting to their base, and they don't want to be seen as capitulating and giving up a fight that they think they can win. So, again, it won't be about him. I think he'll be treated well based on who he is, but I think he's going to be put in a position of having to defend the administration and probably defend what happened in Minneapolis.
Again, it feels like he's going to get confirmed here, but that doesn't mean that there won't be opportunities for Democrats in particular to bring up some of the warts on his record. Like, for example, these reports that came out this week about him enriching himself through his stock portfolio. It's something that we've seen time and time again, and that's resurfaced at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he was wealthy. He dropped out of college and took over his family's plumbing business when his father passed away and built that into a very successful business. So when he came into Congress, he was moderately wealthy, probably in the $3 to $10 million range. But, his financial disclosures today show that he's, worth somewhere between 28 and $97 million, and that he's definitely increased the number of stock trades that he's made. One notably is investing in Chevron about 5 days before we invaded Venezuela and deposed Nicolas Maduro. Did he have some intel that led him to do that, or is it
no? Probably not, Jason. No, there's no way he had any intel that something like that was happening when he buys stock in an oil company. Not a chance.
So that, I mean, but it's also going to be senators that probably are guilty of that themselves. So I don't know that we will necessarily see an aggressive grilling of their colleague when there's probably a few people on the dais that are guilty of the same behavior.
Yeah.
So it'll
probably true. Jason Rowe, thank you as always. We appreciate you. No green beard today, okay?
Oh, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. There you go, brah.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Jason, thank you. Appreciate it. Coming up next, we're going to talk about an AI company and how they're using predictive analytics and cloud technology to help our automotive industry. It's coming up on Mobility Makers next on JR Morning.
No matter where you look, rising costs are hitting Michiganders hard. When you're forced to make tough choices, keeping the lights and heat on shouldn't be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy saving programs, you can take steps to start reducing your energy bills today. Count on Consumers Energy for support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
Think your family makes too much to qualify for money through the FAFSA? Think again. The FAFSA unlocks scholarships that aren't as income-based as you might expect, like the Michigan Achievement Scholarship and the Community College Guarantee. It takes most families just 30 minutes or less to complete. Unlock funding by completing the FAFSA at fafsa.gov. Brought to you by the Michigan Association of Broadcasters and My Student Aid.
This is Maria Monti, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, with our weekly tax tip for business owners. Whether you just started your business or have been in business for many years, you should make sure your current entity structure still makes sense. Tax laws are always changing, and the tax structure you started out with may not be as effective for what your business is today or what it will be in the future. Schindel Rock helps Metro Detroit businesses solve complex tax matters. Learn more at SchindelRock.com.
I'm Adam Devine, Chief Fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. We'll fun it up. It better be fun. Have you ever wondered how our network actually works? Oh, wonder no more. With the support of partnering businesses and individual donors, we help raise crucial funds for 170 children's hospitals across the United States and Canada. Hospitals that provide life-changing care for all kids. Visit us online at cmn.org.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz confirms top Iranian official is taken out.
Ali Larijani was targeted in a strike overnight. Larijani serves as the secretary to Iran's Supreme National Security Council. He was seen in the streets of Tehran as recently as Friday, walking during the Quds Day demonstrations. But he was considered the de facto leader of this country in the aftermath of the opening strikes of Operation Epic Fury.
Fox's Trey Yanks in Tel Aviv. Katz also says the commander of the force that was targeting Iranian demonstrators was also killed in separate strikes. President Trump working on a so-called police force to keep the Strait of Hormuz safe for oil tankers facing headwinds from some NATO nations who don't want to get involved. The price of gas up 8 cents overnight, landing at $3.79 a gallon. That from AAA. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Southbound 75 at Outer Drive. We still have a crash off to the right shoulder. Westbound 94 before Division Road. An accident off to the right shoulder there. And Van Horn in both directions at 4th Street. Right lane closed there until next Tuesday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put the expertise and skill of NECA contractors to work on your commercial, industrial, or public electrical construction project. NECA members like Williams Electrical and Communications are powering Michigan's future, project after project, on time and on budget. Learn more at smcnica.org. Overcast and cold today, a chance of a few flurries or snow showers throughout the day, and a high of 28. Right now it's 18. Cloudy tonight, a low of 20. Partly cloudy, warmer tomorrow, high of 49. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I love learning about long-standing Michigan family businesses, and one I'm proud to tell you about is Guernsey Farms Dairy. As a mom, I want to make sure my child gets the vitamins she needs to grow healthy, and something that helps her get that is drinking Guernsey Farms Dairy milk. Their award-winning milk, ice cream, lemonade has been a staple in Michigan fridges for over 80 years. When John McGuire started Guernsey Farms Dairy, he had a vision, and now it's continued with the family's third generation. John wanted to create a legacy for his family and the community, and the McGuire family is proud to continue that work today. I've been fortunate to see firsthand how they make their products and learn about the tradition when I met with the family. Remember, when looking for Guernsey's award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, make sure to visit your local grocer, or you could stop by their store and restaurant in Northville for an experience like no other.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
Michigan is building. The construction trade unions of the Michigan Building and Construction Trades Council and their employer partners at Musk Construction Careers are looking for qualified, motivated applicants for apprenticeship opportunities. Earn while you learn and graduate debt-free. Construction skilled trade careers include great wages, benefits, and retirement. Learn more about construction skilled trades apprenticeships by visiting mustcareers.org. MUST Management and unions serving together. Service didn't define their story, but it shaped their foundation. Hear inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life on The Veterans Blueprint. Sponsored by VetLife, Sundays at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at turbotax.com/free.
Signs of spring. The first robin. Clocks jumping ahead. The first monthly tornado siren test. And WJR's Paul W. Smith St. Patrick's Day celebration. It's Tuesday, starting with Paul at 11 a.m. and for the rest of the day. Sponsored in part by Visit Detroit, Nika, and Kitsch Attorneys and Counselors. Miss it, and a leprechaun could revoke your honorary Irish card.
No green beer for you.
Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Well, we're seeing it more and more. Auto companies relying heavily on artificial intelligence, particularly when it comes to how to improve their products.
Yeah, we're talking about AI. That is a topic of Mobility Makers, brought to you by Bridgestone. Getting people down the road matters, but getting generations down them, that's what really matters. Bridgestone. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more. And specifically, we're talking about the Stefanini Group opening a center for AI excellence in Michigan. And we're joined by Leo Vieira, Stefanini's Smart Manufacturing Director, to talk more about this. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We are good. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday for Mobility Makers. So talk about this new center in Southfield, Michigan, and what's going to happen there.
So we have a engineering center here in Southfield, Michigan, where we are mostly develop the most advanced manufacturing AI components for our company. So it's been a very long journey for us, and so we hope we'll try for that road nowadays.
Leo, we hear a lot about artificial intelligence, but sometimes it kind of feels abstract. In a car plant or a supply chain, where is AI actually making the biggest difference right now?
So yeah, it's really a challenge, right? So we always try to, as a global technology company, we always try to apply technology on the most efficient and most advanced way to bring more clarity for our clients. So in the automotive sector, as the production have a lot of requirements for productivity, so we use AI to give visibility on the shop floor and help the operators to resolve their problems faster.
Aside from what you're doing to help other companies, for example, kind of streamline their processes, how is, when you're looking at the automotive industry and the predictive analytics of it all, how do you then take that information and then how do the car companies then put it into practical, use?
Yeah, so the first thing is to understand the manufacturing systems and be able to connect them in an efficient way, right? So after that, you have to have the data contextualized in a way you can help the clients to connect the dots and help give a better diagnosis on what is happening with the machine, right? So sometimes the downtime happens and the operator doesn't know what is happening. So our tools is giving more visibility on what is happening there and guide the operator to fix those problems faster. So which is leading to less downtime and more production at the end of the day.
You've been working with AI for more than a decade. Now you have this dedicated center in Southfield. I mean, some people are afraid of AI, but this company is embracing it. Why are you taking that approach?
Yeah, Stefanini is a unique company in the market because we combine highly specialized manufacturing knowledge and technology with advanced digital features as well. So by that combination, we can apply traditional and I would say robust techniques to bring more efficient to the company, but also bring all the newest and greatest on the AI side as well.
Whenever we talk about automation and AI, people wonder about jobs. Does smart manufacturing replace workers, or does it actually change and create new types of roles?
Yeah, thanks for helping that, because most of the people sometimes be afraid of that. But the way we use AI on the shop floor is to make people more productive and more efficient. So it's about being on top of that, creating work that is less repetitive, and helping people to cut or get the shortcuts to resolve the problems on the shop floor.
Well, there'll be 30 team members there in Southfield working on these AI solutions. We appreciate your time, Leo Vieira from Stefanini Smart Manufacturing. You are the director there. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
You as well.
You as well.
All right, working on stuff over there in Southfield. Good thing.
Anyway.
Good thing.
That's right.
Yeah, good thing. Meanwhile, there was this new study. So they're planning to unveil a whole host and a lot more of these robo-taxis in San Diego.
Okay.
Right. Interesting story that the Detroit News has. It's from the San Diego Union Tribune, that there was a study done that says that people are pushing back on this idea of riding in these driverless taxis because it is going to attribute for a loss of jobs. So the protest stance is that you're taking away drivers from these vehicles, and we don't like that. We want to be able to talk to somebody, see
I
somebody.
think those people are few and far between.
I think those
not talking to the Uber driver is the goal.
Because a lot of people don't want to.
I feel like you're
just
the
wanna
one.
do your own thing.
You want to
you know?
take
like-
your laptop out and do whatever you want.
You're the one
do
that's
some
going to
work.
be like left in the Stone Age.
Sure.
Like if you're not adapting to this technology, look, would I ride in one of these? Of course I would. Sure, yes.
You
Would I
changed then,
be? Well,
'cause
no.
you said absolutely not.
I would be very apprehensive, right? But I think once you do it more, you become more used to it. I would have real reservations getting in that thing first time around.
I
But
know I would too. But
This is going to be the future.
yeah, but I would I definitely would have some reservations, but I would probably have more reservations riding in an autonomous vehicle in a state like Michigan, or a state where it's snow and ice and cold and stuff, as opposed to somewhere where it's sunshine and dry all the time. Maybe rain a little bit.
The AI people would say that human error, it's more dangerous to
Right.
have a human making these decisions than an autonomous vehicle.
And I think that that's probably accurate.
It may be, but my thing is, how does that work? When it's ice and snow outside. I mean, is AI going to adjust for? I mean, maybe it does, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I think that technology is going to get better and better.
Yeah.
It's going to get better and better. The reservations, I think, for people like me are legitimate. Like you don't. It's a control. I think it's more. I'm not like a control freak. That's not who I am. But I do enjoy being at the helm. Like when I'm driving the car, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. So there is that loss. But I mean, conversely, if you fly in a plane, I don't have any control over the plane.
Right.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
Or if you're on the bus, or
whatever you're doing.
Exactly.
I got no control over any of it. And I don't like riding. I don't like flying for that, partly for that reason. But I think if I'm lower to the ground, I feel safer there.
Okay.
I'm not 30 feet up in a metal tube. This makes a lot more sense. But I think these people that are going to like protest these things,
Like I said, I think those are few, the protesters for the job.
it's actually just like 4 people out there,
It's
like
gonna be left behind.
with
They're gonna be left
signs.
behind, yeah.
No more Waymo. No more. Like, what are you doing? Seems
That
very-
reminds me of the SNL. What are we doing?
What are you doing?
Look up the SNL thing. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny. All right, coming up on JR Morning, we're talking about the bracket. Could mathematics help you make some of these decisions when it comes to UMBC and Howard?
Hope so.
We'll see. We'll talk to a mathematics professor at 6:49.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more
more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. Their max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
While no one knows what tomorrow may bring, Bridgestone is working toward a more positive outlook, with innovations like developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. It's just one of the many ways Bridgestone is making a difference today for generations to come, because that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more. Welcome to Making the Impossible Possible with Henry Ford Health. And with us today is cardiologist Dr. Corey Russell. From the routine to leading edge breakthroughs at Henry Ford, healthcare is more than high tech. It's human. And Dr. Russell, how does this impact your work?
That's so true. As a physician, what we do is intrinsically personal. It's incredibly important to me to maintain that human connection with my patients. My goal is to help my patients feel better and continue living longer, happier lives with their loved ones. That truly makes me happy.
Well, that's wonderful. And Henry Ford is a nonprofit. How does this impact the care you give as a physician?
Because Henry Ford Health is a nonprofit, our donors and their gifts power the advancements that help us improve and save more lives every day. Philanthropy is the difference maker that enables the next level of exceptional patient-centered care, leading-edge research, clinical training excellence, and broad community impact.
Great. Cardiovascular care is part of your Detroit expansion plans. Can you share more?
Cardiovascular care will be one of the specialties in the new hospital facility currently being built at our Detroit campus. Thanks to donor support, we can continue to engage in the most advanced research while investing in the best equipment and technology available, all to improve our patients' lives.
To learn more or make a gift, visit henryford.com/above and beyond.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm. From Birmingham to Belle Isle and beyond, Guardian Alarm has kept homes and businesses safe for over 90 years with 24/7 local live monitoring. Guardian Alarm protects your neighborhood because they know your neighborhood. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT today.
Westbound 94 between Division Road and 26 miles. Still have a crash off to the right shoulder causing delays. Eastbound 96 at Pinckney Road, a crash there as well. Northbound US 23 before Getty's, an accident blocking the right lane causing backups to Washtenaw Avenue. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
A cold sticking around. The wind's backing off, but still light breeze around this morning and blustery this afternoon. Maybe a few snow showers. No accumulation expected. All that over closer to Lake Michigan. 30 degrees. Tonight, 22, mainly cloudy. Suburbs. You got it, teens. It's still chilly on Wednesday, mainly gray sky. A south breeze, though, will get into the upper 30s and then closer to 50. Chance of rain Thursday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, math ain't always mathing for me. So thankfully, we've got people out here that are doing the Lord's work and figuring out who's going to win this tournament using the numbers.
Yeah, and every March, millions of sports fans fill out their brackets for the NCAA men's basketball tournament, hoping they will finally be the year that they predict the perfect run. With all the analytics available today and even artificial intelligence tools promising smarter picks, some fans are tuning to technology for help. But when it comes to betting the odds and beating the odds, some math experts say the smartest strategy might actually be much simpler. Forget all the AI and just trust the numbers. Joining us now is Tim Chartier. He is the Joseph R. Morton Professor of Mathematics and Computer Science at Davidson College. Professor, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Every March, as you know, millions, we fill out these brackets for the NCAA division men's basketball tournament, convinced that we're finally cracked the code. But from a mathematician's perspective, how much of this is skill and how much is just pure luck? Or just all pure luck?
It isn't all pure luck, but at the same time, you're basically looking at two dynamics in March Madness. One of them is skill, which is what we're all looking at when we're looking at the numbers. It's what I do. But then there's the other part of it that is luck. And the way to look at that is that a team might be 95% likely to win, but that doesn't mean they will win. That on a given day, you can actually have luck fall the other way. And so there's always what we call randomness in the tournament. So the likelihood of a perfect bracket is very unlikely, but I'm not looking for perfect. I'm just looking to be better than a lot of people.
So is there some formula that people that understand math can use?
Yes, we use a linear system, which we actually learn in middle school, like x plus 2y equal 5 and x minus y equal 10, what x and y make those equations true. We do the same thing, but we have 350 unknowns, and it's the ratings for the teams. And we look at 5,000 games in order to get that. And there are a couple different ways to do that, but that's a popular way to actually begin to get a sense of the strength of the teams.
Tim, I'm curious to know from the last couple of years, you've been doing this for a long time. The last couple of years with NIL and the transfer portal, and, a lot of those guys maybe in those mid-major programs that are making impacts on these bigger programs, are we seeing less of the statistical likelihood that we're going to see a Cinderella, or that some of these smaller teams are going to be able to compete on this big stage with some of these bigger schools?
Yes, and that's why I'm rooting for the randomness that'll keep the madness even in the early rounds for us in March Madness, is that before last year and the year, but really last year, I typically had more picks in the beginning of the tournament, but last year I didn't have very many. And this year, a lot of it, we have ones that might occur, but usually we have some that we can basically say, this one's almost certainly this team's going to win in the first round. And we're not seeing that. But what we do see is that because of this top heavy talent, that once we get into like the Elite Eight, it's very difficult at that point. That's where I'm not as certain as to what to say, which is usually what people are the most interested at one level. So at one level, that's very exciting in terms of the difference in terms of prediction. But at the same time, this week, when we get to Thursday and Friday, it's fun to see a bunch of teams that are less likely in our heads, at least, win and celebrate and ignite the nation.
Professor, if someone is trying to win a competitive bracket pool, where does it make sense to take risk instead of just sticking with the favorite?
If you can find websites that give you probabilities, then that's where you begin to have a sense of that. For instance, in our models, we have that Louisville is actually favored to win South Florida, but by so little that's when we would go with South Florida because of that randomness. That when it's only 3 to 4%, we typically go with the underdog. And then we do have VCU over North Carolina similarly. And given that I live in North Carolina, I'm glad I'm not doing North Carolina radio.
So sometimes people say, okay, the 1-16 matchup is an easy one to choose. But then when you get into sort of the 11s and which one do you think it is one that you can take a risk, or do you look at the particular teams instead?
Usually it's the 5-12.
5-12.
Usually that almost every single year there's a 5-12 upset. And there are a lot of like reasons that analysts can explain that. We don't need to go into it, but if somebody wanted to look online, they could find some reasoning for why a 12 seed had a particular record that could make them strong enough. And this year it's a little harder. We think that Akron is a good guess, and then a lot of people are talking about McNeese, and I don't know if the McNeese is totally this year or also because of their past performance. But we have done analytics that some coaches, like Izzo at Michigan State, do particularly well somehow in March Madness. So it's very difficult to bet against them.
All right, just on a quick side note, Tim is also a proud graduate of Western Michigan University. How many times in that model did you run it through for the national championship for the hockey team last year? A couple of times, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was very excited.
Yeah. So you ran 5,000 games through your model. Who makes the Final Four under your format, and who wins this thing? And be careful, you're doing Michigan radio.
I do know that I'm doing Michigan radio, so I was hoping you were only asking for the Final Four. So unfortunately, I have the number 1 seed. So it's Duke, Florida, Arizona, and Michigan. But the two that, if you don't want to go with the number 1 seeds, that some of the models have are Illinois or Houston. Those are the two that pop out. And then we do, it's not because I live in North Carolina, but I do have Duke over everyone. But for a long time, Michigan was definitive. I was quite excited to see Michigan early for weeks and weeks. But toward the end, our model does wait for time. It's not just the loss to Purdue. And unfortunately, that moved them down. So I was actually disappointed by that.
Yeah.
We're a Go Blue family.
Yep. Well, it's a lot of fun, and you are better than most. It's absolutely true.
Tim Chartier,
Well,
go ahead, Tim.
Well, I was just going to say, I hope that you, in the end, say, well, he didn't see that.
Yeah,
right.
Celebrating.
Tim Chartier, Joseph R. Morton, professor of mathematics and computer science at Davidson College. Thanks a lot for your insight on this. We'll see how good we can do this time. We'll try our best.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
You know what the odds are for a perfect bracket?
Millions.
It's never happened, right? So
1 in 9.2 quintillion.
Oh, quintillion. Good.
Oh, yeah, quintillion.
Same
know
thing.
about that? Yeah,
It ain't happening.
yeah, exactly.
You do have you have a better shot of winning the lottery, right?
Like
Than
the
a perfect
Mega
bracket.
Millions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So you have a
think so.
better shot of winning the lottery
Yeah, I can see that.
than filling out a perfect bracket.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine if you were the person who does fill out a perfect? Because eventually it's going to happen. At some point, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an inevitability.
Well,
1 in
statistically,
9.2.
at some point you're going to get one.
I think like the human race will be done
Well,
before
that might
this
be
happens.
Fair enough. Somebody's going to have a perfect bracket. It might not be us.
Coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, we'll be talking about those ongoing issues at TSA, those long lines at airports. We'll talk to someone about that. Also, Mayor Sheffield is planning to expedite some home building in the city. That's next.
Detroit fans, the Lions are returning to international play, and you have to be there.
True Fan Travel is taking game day to the next level with the ultimate Germany experience.
Picture this, an all-inclusive, stress-free trip to cheer on Detroit and Munich.
You can join my friend Lomas Brown in Deutschland for a 5-night unforgettable fan experience.
Authentic German culture, exclusive fan events, and plenty of time to explore the country's dynamic city and historic charm.
From world-class beer gardens and traditional cuisine to iconic landmarks and electric football energy.
True Fan Travel will handle it all. Your flight, hotel, game tickets, tailgate, meet and greet, and more.
Take your fandom further and place your deposit today for Detroit in Munich at truefantravel.com.
That's truefantravel.com.
As the sound, smells, and warmth of spring have finally arrived here in Michigan, so has the threat of those nasty spring storms. Many of us have gotten caught off guard with power outages that storms can leave behind. My friends at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are here to help. There is no company I trust more because I know the family, I know the company, and I know none of their people work on commission. This year, be ready for Mother Nature with a reliable standby generator. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical offers generator installations, maintenance, and repairs. If your generator is not serviced by a certified technician, it will void the manufacturer's warranty. And if you don't receive maintenance after 200 hours of runtime, that can also void your warranty. The technicians at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are Generac certified to keep your generator working. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, they've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit FamilyHeating.com to schedule your free estimate today.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Another Iranian leader taken out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Top Iranian official Ali Larijani is dead.
Killed in an Israeli airstrike overnight.
This was probably the most significant strike, you could describe it, in the past week and a half, as the Israelis and the Americans are going after the structure of Iran's regime.
Fox's Trey Yingst is in Tel Aviv.
Larijani was largely considered the de facto leader in the aftermath of the killing of Iran's former supreme leader, and uncertain questions about Mustafa Khamenei, the man who was elected to be the next supreme leader. Larijani was serving as the secretary to Iran's Supreme National Security Council.
Another Israeli strike also took out a general who was the head of an Iranian militia involved in the deadly crackdown on protests that suppressed an uprising in Iran a few months ago, killing thousands of civilians. U.S. military also continues to hit targets in Iran on the 18th day of the conflict. President Trump was asked, when will it end?
It'll be wrapped up soon. We're going to have a much safer world.
As Iran continues to counterattack, rockets and drones were launched at the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. One hit the compound in Baghdad. An oil facility also hit in the United Arab Emirates. As oil shipping remains held up in the region, oil prices rising about 3% this morning, and the price at the gas pump is up another 8 cents today. There's also death and destruction in Afghanistan. In a different conflict, the Afghan government says at least 400 people were killed in a strike on a hospital in the capital.
A spokesman for Pakistan's prime minister denies the military targeted a drug rehabilitation hospital in Kabul, Afghanistan, and says no civilian sites were hit, just military targets. There is video of destruction at the hospital and the emergency response, but no independent verification of casualty numbers. Fighting escalated last month after Afghanistan launched cross-border attacks in response to Pakistani airstrikes. Pakistan has long accused Afghanistan of supporting militants responsible for terrorist attacks.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com. Traffic and Weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
You need more than just a great lawyer. You need a great team. And only Femininio Law has the accident response team. We're out there working on day one to get your life back and to get you paid. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
Eastbound 96 at Pinckney Road, we do have an accident this morning. Right lane blocked by a crash on northbound US 23 before Getty's Road. That is traffic slow to 94. Northbound 75 between Northline and Dix Highway. Crash in the left lane there. Traffic stop and go through that stretch. And westbound 94 between Division Road and 26 Mile. That accident's cleared. However, we're still dealing with traffic being slow through that stretch. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Overcast, cold today. A chance of a few flurries or snow showers throughout the day. A high of 28. Right now, it's 18. Cloudy tonight, a low of 20. Partly cloudy, warmer tomorrow, high of 49. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in my garage over 15 years ago to make custom blinds easy and affordable for everyone. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your art journey, Do Michelle's invite you to discover something extraordinary this March. Explore an extensive estate jewelry collection including Cartier and Tiffany. Fine art from important private collections, works by renowned modern masters, and a curated selection of mid-century modern and traditional furnishings. Join online or in person March 19th and 20th with preview open now. Visit DUMOArt.com to learn more and bid. Du Michel's, your #1 place to buy art in the Midwest.
Hey, Adam Devine here. Looking for a way to make a big change for all kids in your community? Just look for the balloon. When you see the Children's Miracle Network balloon at your local store, restaurant, or gas station, your donation provides crucial funds for local children's hospitals. Hospitals that provide life-changing care for all kids. Children's Miracle Network. Hospitals, partners, programs, and donors like you. Learn more at cmn.org.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
7 o'clock hour. Good to have you. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
We got happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, wow. That's very good. You're all decked out in green today.
Green. Just green. Money green.
Money green. Did you know that blue was historically associated with St. Patrick's Day?
No.
Oh.
Green became popular later on, so they just said, okay, green it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was in the 1700s. And then also, one of my other favorite facts about St. Patrick's Day is, was this the Irish Rebellion and St. Patrick driving the snakes from Ireland.
Okay.
Right? That's the story. There was never snakes. No snakes.
It was nothing?
Was it a figure of speech?
Yeah.
Not meant to be literal?
Well, it was. So people took it literally for a very long time.
Okay.
The snakes, you had historians and people say there were never snakes in this part of the world that were like a bunch of snakes.
Yeah.
They said it was more like pagan rituals, doing away with a lot of that stuff, expunging that.
Okay.
That's the analogy for the snakes.
Snakish people?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, St. Patrick, not Irish.
Yeah.
British.
Just learned that last
Not
hour.
Irish.
Man.
I love the history of all of this because it gets so twisted. And I was just like, let's dye the river green. Yeah. It's just so twisted and
We
contorted.
drink green
after all
beer.
these years.
Should have been blue.
Tap the keg. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. Fun. Meanwhile, the latest on Iran. First of all, the United States Embassy in Iraq was hit in Baghdad, and there were a number of missiles fired, a number of drones fired at it. One drone did get through. There was a fire, and that happened very early this morning. And now another major leader in Iran has been hit, targeted.
Yes, Israel says it has killed the Iranian security chief. His name is Ali Larijani, and he was a central figure in this military response, these drones heading to all of these countries. And so it seems like this has taken out one of the famous people in this war there in Iran. But I was listening to an analyst this morning saying there probably was a succession plan already because of everything going on. So what does that mean moving forward?
But I got to figure, though, that still kind of leaves a little chaos over there, even though, you have these plans, you don't exactly, know when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. So when it does, it's kind of, I'm next man up.
Yep.
And it seems like it's widening. According to the Wall Street Journal, the Israeli military is issuing the widest evacuation order in southern Lebanon since 2006. Warning residents that they'll be conducting airstrikes against Hezbollah targets.
The Straits of Hormuz continues to be in main focus. Donald Trump calling on allies, even some adversaries like China, to come help usher these tankers through the Straits of Hormuz. Again, don't know what extent they'll have in that effort, but the president's calling on them to do so. He also said, we don't even know why we're there in the Straits. We're the number one producer of oil, he says 2 times over, and that we don't need it. But it does affect the global economy. It affects the global oil business. And so that's why there's such a value placed on that piece of waterway.
Here locally, Detroit Mayor Mary Sheffield announcing a 4-point plan aimed at drastically speeding up permits for home renovations and new construction. Officials say what once took 30 days could now be completed in just a single day, a move designed in support of what city leaders call Michigan's largest construction boom in decades. The plan focuses on stronger housing strategies, better technology, and improved customer service. David Bell, he's director of the city's Building Safety Engineering and Environmental Department, says his 300-member team has streamlined both private and commercial building processes. And contractors and homeowners say the changes could save significant time. Matt Timken, a local home builder, notes that building and renovating homes is key to increasing home ownership and revitalizing neighborhoods, while residents like Alan Martinez hopes faster permits make owning and improving homes easier. So, here in the city, there's a lot of affordable housing being built, but there are also a lot of empty lots. The former mayor, took down a lot of abandoned homes and buildings, and there are just lots there. And so you're losing some of the home stock. So the new mayor is saying, let's put homes on those stocks. Let's make it easier for people to build. And that's what she's doing with this program.
Mm. There are like streets where there is like one house left.
That's right.
Yeah, so there's land for sure.
Absolutely.
Michigan cares very deeply about what happens today at 6:40 because UMBC and Howard are playing. The first play-in games are starting tonight. So you have that one at 6:40. You have Texas and NC State at 9:15, and then 2 more Wednesday. So get your brackets ready because your chances of having a perfect one are 1 in 9.2 quintillion.
Wow.
Just say it's not going to happen. What is a quintillion?
It might as well be a gazillion. It might as well.
It could be a bajillion, like we used to say as kids.
Right.
It's a fictitious number. It doesn't exist.
A quintillion is a large number written as a 1 followed by 18 zeros.
Wow.
They're it's usually like 1,000 is, this many hundreds.
Yeah.
They can't even say that. They don't even know how. It's just whatever. It's not going to happen. Don't strive for a perfect bracket.
But like 5 minutes ago, Chris was saying someone's going to do it.
Somebody will do it.
One day, I guess.
Statistically, somebody will do it.
We'll be flying in cars like the Jetsons.
You're like Lloyd Christmas over there. So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. Somebody will do it.
No, it's not inevitable is what I'm saying.
It's statistically, it's got to happen.
Will nobody ever make more than 100 points in a basketball game and beat Wilt Chamberlain?
That's more likely.
Oh, well, for sure. That's definitely more likely. That is definitely more likely. Absolutely. 7:12, time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rack your world. Here's Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community on WJR.
Good morning. The way consumers want to be messaged by brands and retailers is changing. It used to be that email ruled all methods of communication, but now as technology changes the playing field and more consumers are on their mobile platforms primarily, methods of engagement are changing as well. That according to new data from the 9th Mobile Consumer Insights Report from Vibes, in which Vibes surveyed over 1,144 U.S. consumers with smartphones in November of 2025. Now, while it used to be that a vast majority of consumers wanted communication to be primarily by email, 41% say they're more likely to redeem digital wallet offers, for example, sent to them via text message rather than sent to them via email, while only 39% of consumers today choose to be messaged via email. Meanwhile, 76% of respondents would interact more with brands that offer a digital wallet option for their coupons and offers. That's up from 60% in 2025. And 75% would do the same with firms that offer digital wallet choice for their loyalty rewards program. Now, given that text messaging appears to be king of all messaging methodology, according to the new study, the following provides insight into the reasons why people are turning more and more to a preference of receiving their messaging via text. 58% say they want offers or coupons to be delivered to them via text. 50% want loyalty program-related updates. 49% time-sensitive updates, for example, reminders of appointments, etc. 45% want messaging in the form of text relating to account transaction-related updates. 42% say they're willing to get company news and announcements via text, while 40% want exclusive content. So there you have it. Looks like a shifting environment, moving away from email slightly and more towards text messaging as a consumer preferred way of being reached. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, the source for everything you need to start and grow your own business. And that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
You need more storage now. Shelving.com offers same-day pickup or next business day shipping on many space-saving solutions. Grab versatile wire shelving or boltless shelving, or go vertical with high-strength Unirack pallet racking.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by the law firm of O'Reilly Rancilio, advising and representing school districts for all of their legal needs for more than 40 years. Get details at orlaw.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-902-5454. That's 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report from Newsmax. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need this Social Security report from Newsmax. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in my garage over 15 years ago to make custom blinds easy and affordable for everyone. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Northbound 75 between North Line and Dix Highway. We still have that crash taking up the 2 left lanes. Traffic's backed up to Allen Road. Eastbound 96 at Pinckney Road, a crash. crash shaking up the right lane of northbound US 23 before Getty says traffic slow from 94. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Paramount Roofing. Need a new roof without the stress? Paramount Roofing makes it easy. Get an instant free roof quote right now at weareroofing.com. Built to last and backed for life with no money down and 5 years, 0% interest. Residential or commercial, experience roofing the easy way. Paramount Roofing, a 5-star roofing experience made easy. Here's your forecast.
Some sun's going to try to get through the clouds this morning, but I think more clouds than sun works, and maybe some snow showers as we get into the afternoon. 30 degrees. Hey, remember, it's still winter. I know it's St. Patrick's Day, but, it is still winter officially. Got a pair of twos tonight, mainly cloudy. Suburbs probably dipping into the teens. 38, cloudy, a south breeze on Wednesday. Even milder Thursday with a chance of rain will tickle 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. What do you have planned for Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day? Well, I hope that you're planning on tuning in to our annual St. Patrick's Day party broadcast. From 11 till 2, we'll keep you entertained and informed with a group of anybody who's anybody, and even some people who aren't anybody. It's 11 to 2, St. Patrick's Day on WJR.
So there are roughly, let's call it 50,000, somewhere between 47 and 51,000 TSA workers that make sure that when we get to the airport, and we get to our terminal, everything is safe and secure. Well, we've seen a number of TSA agents quit. They haven't been paid because DHS is not being funded currently. What are the ramifications of this? John Pistol is the senior advisor for Church, Hiddle, and Antrim, a law firm out of Indiana. He is a former administrator of the Transportation Security Administration and joins us this morning. John, it's good to have you.
Yes, good morning. Good to be with you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing at our airports and the ramifications, the waves of DHS not being funded, that these TSA agents are missing paychecks. How much, or how, I guess, are we less secure because of this, aside from all the wait times at the airports?
Well, that's a key question, because as fewer and fewer TSA employees and the frontline employees are called TSOs, Transportation Security Officers, that's the ones that people encounter most typically at checkpoints at the 435 or so airports around the country where TSA provides security. There's been over 300 of them who have resigned since this current shutdown started. And going back to the fall, your listeners may recall that there was a 42-day shutdown for the entire government other than essential workers. TSOs are what's considered essential workers, and so they have to show up even though they're not getting paid, almost all of them. And so as fewer show up because people resign or they call out sick because they may have a gig job, they need to do some delivery or whatever it might be, because, hey, they've got bills to pay, they've got the rent to pay, they've got groceries to buy, they may have childcare expenses, all those things. And when you're not getting paid, that makes it problematic for everything. So one of the key questions is, are they distracted, those who are showing up, by a possible terrorist who wants to try to exploit this perceived, hopefully not a real vulnerability?
I'm wondering also, with these long lines and the flight delays, you got spring break travel, heating up when they all collide, as we're seeing now. Does that kind of create the kind of pressure that could maybe force lawmakers to resolve the shutdown and sit down and work it out?
Well, you would sure hope so, because the irony of this shutdown impacting TSA is that the political differences in Washington have nothing to do with TSA. It's all about ICE and CBP, which are both also, of course, part of the Department of Homeland Security, whose secretary was resigned or fired, last week. And so you would think that would bring some political resolve to the lawmakers to say, look, this is not a TSA issue, but it's being used in a way to try to drive home a point. Thus far, a month into it now, that hasn't happened. But as you mentioned, with the spring break, it's a 4 to 5 week process over the country, depending on when schools are out and things. people who I'm sure are traveling now are experiencing longer wait times, both at the regular checkpoints, but then also at TSA pre-check, which is the expedited traveling service for those who enroll and provide a little bit of information about themselves. So it's what's called risk-based security. The idea is to try to mitigate risk without trying to eliminate risk, which you can't do unless people just don't travel. So yeah, spring break, long lines, and unfortunately those long lines can actually be an attractive target for, again, somebody who wants to make a name for themselves, a terrorist. It's happened before in airports around the world. It happened at LAX one time, where a person went in and just started shooting TSA officers and killed one and wounded others and a couple other folks, but specifically targeting TSA. And so TSA is the brunt of this, but it has nothing to do with their work, unfortunately, that they're the ones not getting paid.
That's one of our other guests, Mary Schiavo, said that.
Yeah.
Like, if there are a lot of people congregating like that before you have to get through security, that's a target. John, as a
Maybe.
former administrator of the TSA, is there anything that can be done here, or it all lies with lawmakers?
Well, so one of the keys is some airports and airlines and just benefactors are providing gift cards and things like that to TSA employees who, look, they're not the highest paid employees in the government. Of course, TSA created after 9/11 and then became part of Homeland Security when that was created a couple years later. But they are not the highest paid employees, and so anything that airports, airlines, and benefactors could do to provide support for their local TSA employees, of course, would be greatly appreciated by them, I'm sure. But the key comes down to, if Congress doesn't pass the bill that is needed to fund it, then it will remain unresolved. I think it will just come down to the political pressure of what do the people who are traveling and those family members of these TSA employees, what can be done to bring political pressure to say, okay, enough's enough. Everybody made their point. And the whole idea in Washington, at least from my experience of being there, was nobody gets exactly everything they want. It's a matter of compromise, and how can reasonable people come to reasonable conclusions to find a reasonable compromise.
John, we just have a minute left here or so, but in your time with the TSA under the Obama administration, you didn't go through anything like this, but what can you opine maybe on the situation and then morale amongst TSA workers that are working still?
Well, you can imagine morale is in the tanks. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, you're required to show up to work, and yet you're not guaranteed when or if you're going to be paid. Now, everybody believes, I think, that they will be paid when a bill is passed. But the uncertainty of not knowing when that is, I mentioned last fall with the 42-day shutdown, nearly 1,100 TSOs resigned because of the uncertainty. And security is not an area where you want uncertainty in the minds of those who are providing the services. So I would just encourage lawmakers, voters, to contact their lawmakers and say, will you get this done? Everybody's made their point. Let's get this done and take care of the people who are taking care of us.
Former TSA Administrator John Pistol, we appreciate your time and insight. Thank you so much. I hope we talk again very soon.
You're very good. Best wishes to you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, to you as well.
To that point, all of those people resigned back then at the last shutdown, and there are some doing that now, quitting. Are we going to have enough people
That's the question.
moving forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that they all get rehired at some point.
Yeah.
But again,
Maybe they don't want this uncertainty anymore, and they stick with whatever job they found in the interim.
And that might be the worst case scenario.
That is, and I just think it highlights this bigger structural problem of how essential workers are treated when you have these types of situations like this. Maybe they need to go back and redo something in the legislation that says they continue to get paid during this time. Because
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And again, they shouldn't be held hostage because you can't do your jobs properly on Capitol Hill. I got an unbelievable St. Patrick's Day story. It's next.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Are you looking for professionals who can make electrical upgrades or repairs in your home or business? From security lighting and appliance circuits to recessed lights, panel upgrades, and so much more. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical has your electrical needs covered. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, we've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit familyheating.com to find the location near you. Family, not just the name of our company, but the way we do business.
Make your splash at the Backyard Pool and Spa Show, March 20th through 22nd at the Vibe Credit Union Showplace, formerly known as Suburban Collection Showplace. Shop the best selection and biggest savings on the newest hot tubs, swim spas, pools, and accessories.
Escape to the greens with the Cardinal Stay and Play Golf Package at St. John's Resort. Enjoy luxury accommodations and 1 round of golf for 2 on the beautiful Cardinal Golf Course, plus unlimited rounds on the Little Cardinal and the putting course. Whether you're sharpening your short game or chasing the perfect drive, it's the ultimate getaway for golfers of every level. Relax, play, and make unforgettable memories. Book your stay and play experience today at stjohnsresort.com. Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show is coming to Metro Detroit, March 28th and 29th at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. This isn't just a home show, it's a full real estate experience. Meet builders, designers, realtors, lenders, and home improvement experts all in one place. Get real-world advice on buying, selling, renovating, staging, and creating standout home designs. Whether you're a homeowner, future buyer, or real estate professional, there's something for everyone, including family activities, prize drawings, and interactive exhibits. Get advanced discount tickets at largestrealestateshow.com. That's largestrealestateshow.com.
Pelosi, a top Iranian official, killed in an overnight strike. Ali Larijani was targeted in a strike overnight. Larijani serves as the secretary to Iran's Supreme National Security Council. He was seen in the streets of Tehran as recently as Friday, walking during the Quds Day demonstrations. But he was considered the de facto leader of this country in the aftermath of the opening strikes of Operation Epic Fury.
It's Fox's Trey Yanks. A federal judge blocked RFK Jr.'s overhaul of the childhood vaccine schedule.
Medical groups, including the American Academy of Pediatrics, suing over the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention cutting the number of long recommended childhood vaccinations to 11 and downgrading immunization recommendations for 6 diseases, including the flu, hepatitis A and B, and RSV. The plaintiffs alleging the move is unlawful and will harm public health.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in my garage over 15 years ago to make custom blinds easy and affordable for everyone. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
On the Lodge northbound at Glendale, a disabled vehicle is taking up the left lane, northbound 75 between North Line and Dix Highway. 2 left lanes blocked by a crash. Traffic stop and go from Eureka. Northbound US 23 before Getty's, an accident in the right lane there. Traffic heavy to 94. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Lombardo Apartments. Looking for luxury living without the stairs? Welcome to Everly of Macomb. Beautiful ranch-style luxury apartments designed for comfort, convenience, and style. Visit everlyofmacomb.com for more information on their specials, including 1-month free rent on a new lease. Overcast and cold today with a chance of a few flurries or snow showers throughout the day. High of 28. Right now it's 19. Cloudy tonight, a low of 20. Partly cloudy, warmer tomorrow, high of 49. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
No matter where you look, rising costs are hitting Michiganders hard. And when you're forced to make tough choices, keeping the lights and heat on shouldn't be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up by giving $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy savings programs, you can take steps to start reducing your energy bills today. Count on Consumers Energy for support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
Be sure to start every Sunday at 8 a.m. with JR Sunday with Mark Hollis. Great interviews and conversations all in one place on JR Sunday with Mark Hollis, sponsored by Tryon, your payroll and HR solution. To learn more and to reach out to Tryon, go to relyontryon.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Detroit is more than a destination and far more than meets the eye. From downtown to the Tri-County area, Detroit attracts 40% of Michigan visitors and generates more than $5 billion in economic activity. That's what makes Detroit the beating heart of pure Michigan. Visit Detroit is proud to play our part by promoting the Motor City to visitors from all over the world. When we champion our workers, businesses, and communities, we can help write the next chapter in Michigan's bright future. Now's the time to discover all the treasures in Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne County. Go to visitdetroit.com to plan your experience today.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at turbotax.com/free.
Paul W. Smith can be found on Focus from noon to 2 p.m. on 760 WJR. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And again, just to drive home that point a little further on what's happening with DHS and the funding and TSA, I mean, we are getting towards the busy part of the travel year, right? We're getting towards the point of spring break and the summer where people are taking vacations and things like that. The longer this goes on, like aside from all the security stuff that we're dealing with because of Iran now, like just the nuts and bolts of traveling at this point are becoming so laborious. They're becoming so difficult. You're asking people to get to places so early and they have to wait in these really long lines. And again, it feels like first world problems. I understand that, but that doesn't mean it's not frustrating for you when you got to go to the airport and you got to wait hours to get on the plane.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that with like toddlers waiting in TSA lines like that. But, you know, there's two sides, and one is the payment of the TSA agents and the security, and the other is these long days for people traveling if they make their flight at all.
And I mean, you start thinking about what's happening up north, you know, with snowstorms and in Chicago and these places. I mean, and planes being canceled. So you're already, you know, in the airport long anyway, and then you got to wait in a long line.
Yeah,
It's
no,
real
for sure.
Frustrating.
I mean,
on top of all of that.
FEMA's impacted by this. The Coast
Exactly.
Guard's impacted by this.
Right.
So there are wide-ranging ramifications to a partial shutdown that just seems to be going and going and going and no end in sight because and you know, Mark Wayne Mullins is just going to start his confirmation hearings tomorrow. So, you know, we'll see where that goes. Meanwhile, yesterday, so we're getting ready for bed, right? Kids are in their pajamas, getting their teeth brushed, the whole deal. And just before we split off, she's taking the little guy, I'm taking Jake, and we're going to bed. We start to hear about the leprechaun that's coming tonight. And I'm like, what? The leprechaun. You know, the leprechaun's coming. The leprechaun's coming. Well, the leprechaun, apparently, we have to set a trap for the leprechaun.
Oh, okay.
Was unaware of this.
News to you.
Okay.
News to me as of 8 o'clock last night.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we have to set a trap. We have to put Lucky Charms on the island in the kitchen to try to lure him in.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can trap him.
So we can trap him.
Okay.
And then, you know, the leprechaun's mischievous.
Okay.
So we expect something to go crazy when we wake up in the morning. And then, you know, he brings gold chocolate coins.
Oh, really?
And we're like, really? Really? So everybody goes to bed last night, except for me.
Because you're out.
I had to venture.
Of course you did.
I had to go out and see what was out in the world at, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So I'm going here and there and here. I went to 5 different places yesterday.
These kids they just don't know.
And the hunt for the gold coins was unsuccessful.
Despite several stops.
Yeah.
Despite several stops. And then it's funny. So I stop at a Kroger. I go in. I'm looking at the candy aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy walks up, stands next to me. We're looking. And I kind of notice him out of the corner. By the way, nobody's in the store. They're closing in like a half an hour.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that this guy is coming in and standing in the candy aisle where I am.
And staring like you are.
Yeah, just staring off into space, questioning a lot of life decisions as I stand there. So I go, I didn't see him there. So I go over to the Easter candy selection.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it there, but he follows me. And I go, "You're looking for gold chocolate coins, aren't you?" And he goes, "Oh my God, yes." So here we are.
Uh-huh.
Just a couple of guys at Kroger at 9:30 at night looking for gold coins.
Clearly did not plan ahead, you two guys at Kroger at 9 p.m.
It's not my fault. It's their fault.
Because they waited too late to tell you?
And here's the problem. Yeah, you waited till you're going to bed. Here's the problem,
because they're talking about it in the school, right?
That's it. Everybody's talking about it in school. So everybody's like, "I'm going to set a leprechaun trap." And they're like, "Oh, me too." And the leprechaun brings chocolate coins. So now the leprechaun's got to bring something.
So this is how it's going to be now?
Do you
kind of like Elf on the Shelf?
Do you know what the leprechaun brought us this morning?
What did he bring?
Brought us St. Patrick's Day cookies and Ferrero Rocher.
Kroger brand cookies.
Kroger brand cookies.
Look, I didn't know this was a thing either. I did some Googling because you talked about this. I guess it's a thing. There are 17 clever leprechaun trap ideas for St. Patrick's Day. DIY leprechaun trap ideas for kids. Like, this is not a thing I did when I grew up.
Me either.
Never did anything like this.
No. We might have dyed some Easter eggs. That's about all I did.
For St. Patrick's Day?
No, not for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but
Oh,
just
yeah,
doing different
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
I had the Elf on the Shelf for my kids.
The Elf on the
I
Shelf.
didn't, not for me, but for my kids, I did Elf on the Shelf.
Elf on the Shelf is the same way. It's like you can't go in and be like, "Oh, the leprechaun just didn't come to my house. I didn't know the leprechaun was supposed to come to the house."
Oh yeah, because they're going to go to school, and the leprechaun's going to go to everybody else's
Right.
house, and they're going to talk about it.
So you got to do it.
Yeah.
But the gall, the unmitigated gall to drop it on me at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night.
Well,
crazy.
They don't know what you have to do, what you had to do. They don't know. They just
I
know
think
that
it's-
leprechaun has got to show up and
I think it's crazy.
waiting.
I wasn't sure if you guys were aware the day after St. Patrick's Day, the leprechaun always brings presents for the producer of the show.
Oh,
Just want to make sure you're aware of
Let's
that.
look that up and see how that's legit.
Yeah, you should look. You don't have
Yeah.
to lay a trap or anything, but he should leave.
Well-
he supposedly leaves presents for the producer.
There's
I
some
just heard this.
Kroger brand cookies with your name on it.
Why don't you circle back around with me
Yeah.
at 7:30 tonight in about 12 hours? I'll dial something up for you.
Oh man, that is something.
But I'm like, I'm out and it's cold.
Yeah.
It's snowing. I'm like, what am I doing? And here's the problem: is like before kids, you guys know me. I got a couple screws loose.
Yeah, you know.
Stop it. You
It's all
agreed
good.
way too quickly. I don't appreciate that. Is like I was always the like new dad to be like, I'm not gonna lie to my kids. I'm gonna tell them the truth. This is, this they don't really come to the house. It ain't really them. It's that's where I was at. But that changed. Then you have kids, and then you want that imaginative wonder to live as long
Exactly.
as possible.
Exactly.
I did last night. It really tested me last night.
You were thinking about it, right?
As I'm at my third CVS or second Kroger trip, and I'm like, boy, I'd like to drop a dime on you tonight. I got some information to pass along.
But you kept the magic.
That's good.
Very good.
So that's what you got, something to look forward to.
Yeah, we don't have that in our house. She hasn't talked about this yet. So,
Yeah.
but maybe for
Well,
next
guess
year.
what, Liv?
Oh, that would be.
Yeah.
You tell Liv about it just to get me. That'd be great.
I would never do that to you.
basketball starts tonight. So you don't have I go through this with my dad all the time. Like, do you have your password to get your brackets going? And you have to have it done by Thursday morning. But tonight matters because the playing games begin. UMBC and Howard will figure out who Michigan's going to play tonight. And then there are 2 more games tomorrow. So the madness begins there as well.
Madness begins.
Okay.
And by the way, you'll be able to hear many NCAA tournament games right here on WJR as well.
Yes.
So we're going to be a great spot for you to check out these games, listen to these games if you're putzing around, out and about, and just keep you locked in to all things NCAA tournament, March Madness. It certainly is madness. Coming up on the other side, speaking of the tournament, we are very lucky because there's a company here in Michigan that makes the courts for the Final Four. We'll talk to them next on JR Morning.
Wow, did you see this?
They're at News Media. What is that?
Well, they're a national publishing and consulting firm. Media professionals all read their stuff. But look at who they have in the top 15 of the best radio shows in the entire country.
Oh, Focus with Paul W. Smith.
Yeah. JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And, of course, the Mitch Albom Show.
I guess that's what they mean when they say the great voices of the Great Lakes.
I always thought I had a pretty great voice. I really do.
Don't sing, hon. Don't. It ain't that great.
Barrett News Media says they're the tops in the country. Catch all of the great weekday shows and see for yourself. The great voices of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR.
Hi, I'm Adam Devine, Chief Fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. No. I said more fun! When I was a kid, a Children's Miracle Network hospital helped me get back on my feet, literally. So trust me when I say that these places aren't just hospitals. They are hope factories. Children's Miracle Network is hospitals, programs, partners, and donors like you. Join us in making big change for all kids. Visit us online at cmn.org.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Time-honored quality has made Guernsey Farms Dairy a staple in Michigan fridges for over 80 years. And with their commitment to dependable goodness, they are sure to be a staple in yours. Guernsey Farms Dairy has built their tradition right here in Michigan, focusing on what their customers and local grocers want and need. When John McGuire started Guernsey Farms Dairy, he had a vision, and now it's continued with the family's 3rd generation. John wanted to create a legacy for his family and the community, and the McGuire family is proud to continue that work today. Guernsey now delivers over 70,000 gallons of milk a week because of their great team and its partnership with family-owned Walnutdale Farms in Wayland, Michigan. Remember, when looking for Guernsey's award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, make sure to visit your local grocer or stop by their store for an experience like no other.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Facing production swings or a tough skills gap? Workforce Solutions from Express Employment Professionals makes hiring easier. Find your local office and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster for contract and full-time jobs. Visit ExpressPros.com.
On the Lodge northbound at Glendale, disabled vehicles still taking up the left lane. Crash taking up the left lane on northbound 275 between Ann Arbor Road and M14. Northbound 75 between Northline and Dix Highway. Crash in the 2 left lanes there. Traffic's backed up to Telegraph. Northbound US 23 before Getty's. Crash in the right lane. Traffic slow from 94. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Right behind our front, the cold air sticking around and wind advisories expiring, but still some gusty winds early today and a breeze this afternoon and maybe some snow showers coming in. 30 should do it. A cold St. Patrick's Day. Deuces tonight, mainly cloudy. Suburbs will be down into the teens. Wednesday, cloudy, a little bit better with a south breeze, upper 30s. Near 50, though, on Thursday. Chance of rain. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
On your ride home, check out the Mitch Albom Show at 4 p.m. Now to get your day started, here's JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
Who was it that has Michigan and Michigan State in the Final Four and playing for the
I believe
national
it's Seth
championship?
Greenberg.
So if Seth Greenberg is true, it would be very cool, not only to have Michigan and Michigan State play each other for Natty, but the surface in which they would be playing also comes from Michigan. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is a story. I've been doing sports here in this town for a long time. That's just like a hometown feel-good, made in Michigan story when this tournament that everybody and their brothers watching, the courts are made by a Michigan company, and that is Connor Sports. We have Zach Ryberty, Director of Marketing for Connor Sports, on the line right now. Good morning and happy March Madness.
Good morning, guys. I wish we had a little bit warmer weather for the tournament.
I know that's right.
Me too. The snow is very rude at this point in time. But good thing all of this is indoors and the people that are enjoying these games and the court are all going to be inside. So talk about this run, talk about a streak of Connor Sports providing the hardwood.
Yeah, this has been a pretty significant partnership for us for a number of years now. We were asked to be used in the Final Four for the men back in 2006, and due to just the success over the years and things moving in the directions we hoped, it's turned into providing the floor for just the Final Four to now we're providing the floors for all of the men's tournament as well as the women's regional games and women's Final Four. So every year has gotten a little bit more challenging, but every year has gotten a lot more better.
I know, the courts look like one seamless floor on TV, but they're actually built in sections using what you call, quick lock fusion system. How does that work, and why is it important for a traveling tournament like this?
So for us, we need to provide a product that's going to your point, look like a seamless basketball floor that's on TV as well as when you're in the arena. But we have to remember that those arenas are used for multiple different things. So we needed to provide something that the NCAA could trust in quality, but also be the best that's out there. And we provided our Quick Lock Fusion Court, which is a panel system that gets brought in via truckload. Pallets are unloaded, and then the court is put together on site by a crew. That usually takes anywhere from 1 hour and the fastest to 3 hours around there. Courts laid down, hoops are put up, stadium's ready to rock, and then as soon as the games are done, the court's taken up that same night and put back on a truck and sent back out.
Talk about the process that you need to go through to actually build these courts, because it's not like you just whip these up in a couple of days. Like, this starts months in advance.
Yeah, so this year is actually a really good example of the court we're using for the men's Final Four this year is 100% brand new. So we started procuring all the materials for that, meaning the lumber, the different parts and pieces we use for the panels themselves. That was done about a year in advance. Once we had everything ready to go, the panels built individually by hand. That entire floor itself was sent to one of our finishing partners. They assembled the floor on site where they were located. They did a full sand of the floor to make sure there was no deviations or anything wrong with that. They began the sealing and finishing and painting process. That process alone, just to get the graphics ready and the game lines ready on the floor, takes anywhere from like 3 to 4 weeks. We did a number of virtual walkthroughs as well as provide some reports with photos and measurements and all that to the NCAA. once we got the green light, the floors were pulled up for drying and banded and put on pallets, and now it's just a waiting time to get to Indianapolis and get going.
So you talked about the brand new court. Do you reuse any of the floors, from year to year, and then does it sort of break down, and then it's like, okay, we need a new one?
So every single year we prepare the surface to make sure the surface not only looks but feels brand new, but the graphics usually don't change. So if you guys look back from not just this year, but from the past couple of years, the first and second round floors, which float around from city to city, the stylized graphics on there, the court design, those aren't different. So what we'll do is we'll buff off the top layer of sealant and then make any paint repairs if needed, any game line changes. Some years there's game lines added, some years game lines are taken away. And then we'll add a new layer of finish on top of that so it just looks nice and glossy. And the court has that like extra squeaky sound when you're listening to the games when the shoes are hitting it. Those are done for the first couple rounds, and then the regional floors and Final Four floors are brand new.
Zach, once the tournament is over and all the confetti falls, what happens to the floor?
First, it gets cleaned up with all that confetti. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
You got to remind everyone. But usually, what we'll do is we'll offer the court up to the national champion. So we want to give them an opportunity to get the floor that they just won the national championship on. Some teams like to get it and use it as either an auxiliary court somewhere on campus. Other teams have purchased the floor and then use it for charity purposes or done something with it from like a fun aspect to have the fans and the alumni, the students come through and be able to see it. Otherwise, the court is reused and refinished 100% brand new for the following year. So every year is different, but the same opportunity goes for the men's and women's side.
Interesting. I didn't realize, but I don't think the dimensions are any differently, but the panels that you use for the men's floor and the women's floor are pretty different.
Yeah, so it's because the men's game is played at such a significantly bigger stadium. The footprint of that floor itself is a total of 70 feet by 140 feet, even though the game playing surface, to your point, the court itself is the exact same as the women's court. That's only because the men's Final Four is played on a raised playing surface to improve sight lines for all the fans that are in attendance. So that court has just a much bigger apron around it. And that's a big thing we had to figure out with the NCAA to make sure we had enough space for player safety as well as all the different media and everything else that happens around the court itself after it's built up.
Very cool. Courts manufactured, inspected at Connor Sports at the production mill in Crystal Falls, Michigan. Population 1,598. Where is Crystal Falls, Michigan?
Crystal Falls is roughly 45 minutes to an hour north of the Iron Mountain area. It's about another 2 hours north, 2.5 hours north of Green Bay, Wisconsin. So you're getting up there. I got to, just give a little shout out to my team at Michigan real quick, just because I was talking with them yesterday, and I think the majority of them got about 3 feet of snow. Some 4 feet.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun couple days for us.
Oh my.
Unbelievable.
And, Connor Sports make sure once these floors are installed that they're perfectly done and that 10 to 12 local workers of a local labor team work on it. So just this whole process is really interesting and Michigan made and Michigan proud.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for us to not just impact the game of basketball, but bring a little, light to the month of March and going into April and getting everybody ready to get out of the winter, even though Mother Nature isn't helping us right now.
That's right.
No, it is not. Zach Ryberty, Director of Marketing, Connor Sports. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
I'm wondering, when he sits down and he's watching the games and everything, is he really sitting down enjoying the games, or is he looking at the floor like, oh man, we made that floor, or we could have did something different? I mean, I wonder how he's watching.
Steve, you messed up one of the lines.
I think it's like such a well-oiled machine since 2006.
Right.
Yeah.
They got it down.
They figure out how to do this perfectly, and it looks great.
It
looks great.
Sounds great with those sneakers squeaking and
I didn't realize they get them back, and then they have to, if they don't go the charity route or they don't buy the floors, they get them back and refinish it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and these sites move to different places around. So, all right, Connor Sports doing the Lord's work here as the March Madness begins later on tonight. So coming up next on JR Morning, we're going to be talking a lot about the latest in Iran. Israel saying it took out a key player in Iran's security and war planning. We'll talk about that at 8:05.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
March is your lucky month at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like my wife Kim and I, feel extremely lucky that our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to our lucky charm, Dr. Saul Kogan. His non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain or numbness, tingling or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, you're in luck. When you mention WJR in March, you'll get a consultation, examination, x-ray, or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Your luck is about to change for the better. Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. Call now.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
He was considered Iran's de facto leader. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Now, Ali Larijani is dead, the latest one taken out by Israel in a strike overnight.
And Larijani was also serving as the secretary to Iran's National Security Council, responsible for building the military structure being used against U.S. forces and allies across the region. A top Basij commander by the name of Gholam Reza Soleimani was killed in a separate strike, along with, according to an official I spoke with, more than a dozen Basij officials.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. That Basij is the military and militia that cracked down on a recent uprising in Iran, killing thousands of civilian protesters. And as the U.S. also continues to attack Iran on 18th day, the counterattacks continue.
Iran's latest salvo against American interests in the Middle East saw 3 drones and 4 rockets fired at the U.S. embassy in Baghdad, Iraq. Reuters reports one of the drones got through and struck inside the embassy compound.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Iran also hit another oil facility in the region, and the United Arab Emirates says oil shipping remains pretty much halted. Fox's Mark Meredith reports.
The White House is hoping the world's need for a stable supply of oil will incentivize more countries to step up and do more to protect cargo ships so that they can move through the Strait of Hormuz. The president says it'll take an international coalition to ensure maritime traffic can pass through the strait safely, and he's also counting on U.S. allies to step up.
No coalition announced yet. Oil prices up 3%. As parts of the U.S. clean up from bad weather, there are more than 2,500 flights canceled or delayed, as some airports may have long security lines again. The Department of Homeland Security funding still blocked in Congress. Some TSA agents still not showing up.
They missed their first full paycheck last week. TSA union leaders say many employees are coping with eviction notices, car repossessions, and overdrawn bank accounts. More than 300 TSA agents have quit.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. We mean business.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Northbound 275 between Ann Arbor Road and M14. Still have a crash taking up the left lane. Traffic slow from Ford Road. Northbound 75 between Northline and Dix Highway. Crash on the right shoulder there. Traffic stop and go from the Telegraph Connector. Northbound US 23 before Getty's. That crash on the right lane has traffic slow from 94. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. Thinking about a new roof? Make the smart choice with Weather Seal Home Improvements. Right now, when you replace your roof, you'll get a $500 gas card. A beautiful new roof for your home plus a $500 gas card? Yeah, that's a good deal. Schedule today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. Cold, brisk day ahead of us today. Overcast with a high of 28. Right now, it's 19. Cloudy tonight and a low of 20. Partly cloudy. Warmer tomorrow, high of 49. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Quick story. I needed new glasses. And like many of you, I thought, well, I can go online. That's easy. But then I remembered the last time I did that, it wasn't easy. They didn't look good on me and they weren't cheap. So then what? You can't take them back to the store. It's the web. Then I remembered Direct Optical Optique. Many of you got your glasses there. You looked great and had a wonderful experience. And that's what I remembered, the experience. I remembered Mariana, Frame Stylist of the Year, and how great she and her staff were at helping me find the right frame at a good price. And that's all we want, right? And they have two great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to the IKEA. Go see Mariana at Direct Optical Optique. She still knows everybody by name. 3 generations of loyal customers for a reason, because you get the attention you deserve. Direct Optical Optique in West Bloomfield and in Canton, and at OptiqueDetroit.com.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
Happy St. Patrick's Day on a Tuesday. Good to have you. Love St. Patrick's Day.
So does Paul W. Smith.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
And of course, his St. Patrick's Day special will be on today. Kevin will go 2 hours, and then Paul starts at 11 out at Doyle's.
At Doyle's, okay.
Yeah, at
Great Irish
St. John
spot.
Resort.
It is.
Yeah, it's a great spot. So it'll be good to have Paul back in the saddle for his annual St. Patrick's Day show. Meanwhile, Iran, the events continue there. There's been action against Hezbollah. There has been an attack on the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. And this is, a barrage of missiles and drones. And one of the drones hit the embassy. There was fire and smoke coming from that area. And then, of course, Israel announcing that they took out one of the main leaders in Iran.
Israel saying it killed Iranian security chief Ali Larijani, this central figure in this military response against the U.S. and Israel, and how they've been hitting all these other countries and the Straits of Hormuz and all of that. So this was a key figure in that plan.
He was a very close ally of the former supreme leader. And again, this would be one of those, this would be a major get if you're trying to get the top leaders of this regime. He would certainly qualify.
Yeah, I mean, I heard an analyst this morning saying there are succession plans for all of the top remaining folks in Iran. So the next person steps in, but is that person is qualified?
Right.
The vice president's office confirming last night that J.D. Vance will visit Auburn Hills tomorrow to deliver remarks at a local manufacturing facility. Now, the trip to Oakland County comes at a somber time for the community. It has been less than a week since the attacker drove that truck into the Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield before taking his own life following that shootout with security. While the manufacturing site has not yet been named, the visit marks the vice president's third trip to Michigan this year. With the state's pivotal gubernatorial and Senate elections just 7 months away, the vice president continues to signal that Michigan remains a top priority for the administration.
Mark Wayne Mullen in his confirmation hearing start this week. We're going to talk to Abigail Jackson, the deputy White House press secretary, coming up. But it sounds like, look, he's going to get confirmed.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
But he's going to face some tough questions because one of the reasons why that DHS funding hasn't been signed and why we remain in a partial government shutdown for DHS, why TSA agents aren't getting paid, why they're leaving by the hundreds to go find a job where they actually can collect a paycheck of some sort. You know, there are going to be questions about ICE, and there are going to be questions about Border Patrol and all of those things that he is going to have to face. And it sounds like he's had conversations, but we'll talk to Abigail Jackson coming up about that.
Well, and to Jason Rowe's point, he made earlier this morning that the questions, people like Mark Wayne Mullen apparently on Capitol Hill, that there are friends across the aisle, but it won't be so much about him personally, but about the department and ICE and all of that.
Some of the things that the Democrats want is, ICE not to wear masks and all
To have
those
marked
types of things,
vehicles.
and marked vehicles. And so we'll see what happens, if they'll find some type of compromise during this hearing, or if this hearing sparks some type of negotiation or compromise that can get DHS funding back on track.
Yeah, and those are pretty much non-negotiables for Republicans.
Yeah.
So that's why we're in this
Exactly.
stalemate that we are. So we'll talk about that coming up.
What's the non-negotiable?
The
masks?
The masks, for certain.
I thought, the immigration policy itself is the non-negotiable. And then maybe you can negotiate on some other things to work well within the Constitution.
Yeah, I mean, DHS said that, these threats against ICE agents have gone up exponentially by the thousands of percent.
Yeah.
So their perspective is, if you're going to dox these people, if you're going to put them in harm's way, if you're going to, bring their families into this and put their addresses online, we're not going to make them take the masks off.
And they don't want to, drive, marked vehicles. I mean, Kristi Noem, I believe, spent millions and millions of dollars on new vehicles that are marked.
That are marked.
Yes, that are marked.
Okay, well, then they're available.
But
they're not being used.
Yeah, but the agent was like, "We're not driving that thing. Are you crazy? We're not driving that." So,
I don't care if the cars are marked. That doesn't bother me at all. I think if you're able to identify these people that are obviously under some sort of attack, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Well, I just think the U.S. citizens want to know, if the car's marked, it's immigration, how to follow the rules. If you don't know that it's marked, the masks and the unmarked cars, then the U.S. citizens are like, well, what are we supposed to do here?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. But these are the negotiations that they're having right now.
Perhaps these same discussions are being held on Capitol Hill.
Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Some sad news for Susie Wiles yesterday. She was announced with early breast cancer.
Yeah.
And she's going to keep work. I mean, my goodness.
No.
Really impressive. High stress job working for the president of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of women have breast cancer and continue working and you don't even know it. But she has a very prominent high stress, time consuming job. The statement from the president is that he's standing by her. Of course, Melania is standing by her, but she's going to remain in her position. And she said in her statement that it's been caught early and she has wonderful doctors. And yeah, she's going to keep working.
I'm sure she does have pretty good doctors at that level.
The best. Michigan U.S. senators are demanding answers from the National Weather Service after that deadly tornado outbreak earlier this month. Senators Gary Peters and Alyssa Slotkin sent a formal letter to the agency questioning why no tornado watch was issued before four twisters came through southwest Michigan on March 6th. The storms killed 4 people, injured 20 others, winds reaching 160 miles an hour. The senators are asking if a lack of staff or resources contributed to the oversight, noting the agency lost roughly 500 employees last year. In a statement, the Weather Service insisted local officers were adequately staffed and that while a watch wasn't issued, forecasters did provide specific warnings as the threat became immediate. The agency says it is currently working on a direct response to the lawmakers.
We talked to Paul Gross about this, and this question was asked of him, and he does not believe that cutbacks to NOAA or the National Weather Service had anything to do with what happened in our state because of how he explained it, that the way they do watches, if most people won't get a severe storm, storm coverage is part of the consideration. That's how they do things. That's sort of how they always do things, and it had nothing to do with the cutbacks.
Remember that story you talked about? I think it was Friday, of that DoorDasher, that elderly DoorDasher, the almost 80-year-old man.
Yes.
Yeah.
They raised a lot of money for
The
him.
GoFundMe.
Yeah. Well, it's eclipsed $1 million now.
Wow.
$1 million. And the mom of this girl who had ordered Starbucks, she said, I know that she says, I was furious. I was like, I know this poor old man is not bringing my very able daughter Starbucks.
Well, if you don't know the story, this man, Richard, is seen on a Ring doorbell, like an older gentleman delivering food on a porch.
Yeah.
And the woman saw it and said, well, why is this guy delivering? She did some digging and found that he had to start door dashing because his wife was fired from her job. They have a lot of monthly expenses. They couldn't cover them. And so she starts its GoFundMe, which I just clicked on, and it's at $943,313. So he's certainly not going to have to DoorDash anymore. And the title of the GoFundMe is Give Richard a Chance to Rest Again.
Yeah.
And I believe he can.
Oh, he can rest
He'll
now.
be able to rest.
Yeah.
Red Wings get a big win last night. They
Yes, they
needed
did.
that one. They are still first place in the wild card chase, just a couple points out of making the playoffs outright. But again, they got to keep pace.
They have to. I mean, they play Montreal and then they play Boston. Boston's 1 point behind them. They needed to beat the Flames. The Flames are terrible. They did the job there, 5-2, but they have to keep going as the stretch continues. Do not fall into the March trap that they've been falling into.
Yes.
Please make the playoffs.
The last couple of years, Patrick Kane had 2 goals in that one. USA Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic tonight as well.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It'll be a fun
Miguel Cabrera is very excited about it.
I'm sure he is. Is he? Has he said something?
He was on social media excited about Venezuela winning, and now it comes to this championship game.
Love it. All right, coming up on the other side, Mark Wayne Mullen's going to answer questions this week. Abigail Jackson at the White House joins us next.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
The highest performing school facilities start with premier architectural design. Wakely Associates is an architectural firm that has been serving Michigan educational communities since 1951. Whether designing for new or renovation of current facilities, Wakely is focused on designing high-performing educational spaces. This experience is invaluable to K-12 school districts looking to pass bond issues. Engage Wakely Associates architects to examine your district's needs. Details at wakelyaia.com. That's wakelyaia.com. Escape to the greens with the Cardinal Stay and Play Golf Package at St. John's Resort. Enjoy luxury accommodations and 1 round of golf for 2 on the beautiful Cardinal Golf Course, plus unlimited rounds on the Little Cardinal and the putting course. Whether you're sharpening your short game or chasing the perfect drive, it's the ultimate getaway for golfers of every level. Relax, play, and make unforgettable memories. Book your stay and play experience today at stjohnsresort.com.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust Metrocars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose Metrocars. Metrocars.com. Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show is coming to Metro Detroit March 28th and 29th at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. Meet builders, designers, realtors, lenders, and home improvement experts all in one place. Get real-world advice on buying, selling, renovating, staging, and creating standout home designs. Whether you're a homeowner, future buyer, or real estate professional, there's something for everyone, including family activities, prize drawings, and interactive exhibits. You could win tickets on us. Text keyword HOME to 800-859-0957. For full expo details, visit largestrealestateshow.com.
It's time for an NCAA tournament schedule preview. March Madness tips off with first four action tonight and Wednesday, including two 11-seed battles between Texas, North Carolina State, and then Miami of Ohio and SMU tomorrow. Then on Thursday, a full slate of 16 games, including one seeds Duke and Michigan taking the floor. Followed on Friday by top seeds Arizona and Florida getting their tournament started. Stay tuned for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament right here.
O'Reilly. Replace your wiper blades and save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Beam blade technology improves windshield contact for maximum visibility. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. Stop by your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Having trouble sleeping? Visit Mattress Firm during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sleep experts will help find your perfect bed from a premium selection of top brands. They make sleep easy.
Northbound 75 at Sibley Road, an accident's taking up the two right lanes. Traffic's backed up to Dix-Toledo Highway. Southbound 75 after the Davison, that accident off to the left shoulder. A crash is blocking the right lane of northbound US 23 before Geddes Road. Traffic slow from 94. And northbound 275 between Ann Arbor Road and M14. Accident there cleared. Traffic still slow from Ford Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
A cold sticking around. The wind's backing off, but still light breeze around this morning and blustery this afternoon. Maybe a few snow showers. No accumulation expected. All that over closer to Lake Michigan. 30 degrees. Tonight, 22, mainly cloudy suburbs. You got it, teens. It's still chilly on Wednesday, mainly gray sky. A south breeze, though, will get into the upper 30s and then closer to 50. Chance of rain Thursday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
For the 28th straight year, Michigan State is dancing in the NCAA men's tournament, taking on North Dakota State Thursday afternoon. Hear every moment of Spartan basketball starting at 3 p.m. The Spartans play here on 760 WJR.
So Mark Wayne Mullen heads to the hot seat this week.
Yes, he does. He is set to appear before lawmakers as he seeks confirmation to become the next head of the United States Department of Homeland Security. President Donald Trump nominating Mullen earlier this month to replace Kristi Noem, and the hearing is expected to focus on border security, domestic threats, and the future direction of the department. Joining us now with the White House perspective is Abigail Jackson, Deputy White House Press Secretary. Abigail, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Nice to have you with us. Tomorrow marks the start of confirmation hearings for Mark Wayne Mullen to lead the Homeland Security. But from a White House perspective, what should Americans be watching for during that hearing?
I think this hearing is going to be an excellent opportunity for Senator Mullen to talk about all of the tremendous accomplishments that President Trump has had in the first just over a year of his administration in terms of the southern border, immigration, and the Department of Homeland Security at large. If you folks remember, just over a year ago when Joe Biden was in office, the southern border was wide open. Illegal aliens from who knows where were pouring across the border. The administration, frankly wasn't keeping track of them. And President Trump came in, he closed the border, he has secured the homeland. And I think it'll be an awesome opportunity for Senator Mullen to talk about that and talk about all of the work we have going forward. So the American people should tune in, and I think it'll be great.
That's absolutely true, everything you said about the border. Do you think there'll be questions about Kristi Noem's tenure and why she was moved?
Oh, I think Democrats are going to come up with all sorts of ridiculous questions to try and distract from the president's wins and take our eyes off the ball. We won't let that happen. You know, Kristi Noem was the Secretary of Homeland Security when the president achieved these tremendous accomplishments for the southern border and for the homeland. Those will be great things that Senator Mullen can point back to. But also, I think it's important to talk about the future and the work we still have ahead of us. While, of course, the president has secured the border, there are still tens of thousands of criminal illegal aliens in the country that we just, we don't know where they came from. We don't know their background. And it's important that we continue arresting and deporting those individuals. But also, I think it'll be a great opportunity for Senator Mullen to highlight how ridiculous it is that the Democrats have shut down the Department of Homeland Security and highlight some of the costs that the American people are experiencing because of that decision from them.
Well, then let's talk about the future. How does the department run differently under a Secretary Mullen?
I think the big thing is that Secretary Mullen, like Secretary Noem, and like every single cabinet secretary, whether it's the Department of Homeland Security or the Department of Education, is executing and implementing on the president's vision that the American people elected him to enact. In terms of the Department of Homeland Security, the American people gave President Trump a very clear mandate when they elected him. They wanted the border to be secure. They wanted criminal illegal aliens to be deported. And that will continue being carried out under Secretary Mullen. I also think it's important to point out that the Democrats are really stymieing our efforts to carry this out with the political shutdown that they've imposed on the American people. And you see those effects reaching Americans all across the country, whether you're an American traveler who's missing a flight because security lines are so long, or whether you're the TSA agent who has now been forced to go without a paycheck and has to consider whether or not you're going to stay in your job or you're going to quit and find a new job because the Democrats are forcing you not to get paid.
Speaking with Abigail Jackson, Deputy White House Press Secretary here on JR Morning. And Abigail, the unusual backdrop here is that parts of DHS, currently shut down due to the funding stalemate in Washington. How challenging is it for someone to step into a leadership role when the department itself is kind of caught in this political funding fight?
Well, the Democrats are certainly not making it easy, and of course it will be a challenge, but Senator Mullen is up for that challenge. He's been a tremendous ally to the president in Congress. He has lots of great experience working across the aisle, working with Democrats. He has been at the center of lots of deals that Congress has made in the Senate and in the House. And so we're confident he'll take that experience with him to the Department of Homeland Security. He'll be able to execute and deliver on the president's agenda while also having those conversations across the aisle when necessary.
Just the war in Iran right now and the message and the communication. Some people are saying there are mixed messages from the administration of the goals here. What are the goals, and are we closer to them today?
Well, the president has been very clear about his goals from the beginning. It's to, prevent the Iranian regime from ever having a nuclear weapon and keeping the American people safe now and years into the future. The only place there's been confusion is the media coverage of this. The media is trying to muddy the waters and say the president hasn't been clear. That couldn't be further from the truth. And I won't get ahead of the president on anything in the future, but what I can say is that he is 100% committed to protecting the American people. That is always his top priority, whether it is any military action or whether it's here at home, securing the border, deporting criminal illegal aliens. He does everything with the safety and the security of the American people in mind first.
Yesterday, the president spoke at the Trump-Kennedy press conference and talked about talking with another president about the war in Iran. The past presidents have come out with statements saying that conversation didn't take place. What's the discrepancy there?
Well, I'm not privileged to share the president's private conversations. So if he has anything else to say on that, I'll let him lead. But what I will say again is that the president is 100% focused on the safety and the security of the American people. And that is what's guiding his actions here.
All right. Abigail Jackson, Deputy White House Press Secretary. Always a pleasure having you on JR Morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, great to talk to you guys. Have a great morning.
You as well.
Interesting.
Well, like we said, somebody's not telling the truth. We just don't know who it is.
When it pertains to this conversation that allegedly happened between the president and a former president, which he talked about a couple times yesterday.
Yeah, I think the Mullen testimony, again, it sounds like he's pretty liked by...
And I think he's going to be confirmed. Yeah.
He will be confirmed. Yes. It's just about, well, how are they going to go about this? Because I think there obviously needs to be some changes to DHS.
Yeah.
I mean, just in terms of the functionality, in terms of, the information that's relayed from a particular scene, whatever it is.
Well,
maybe don't run
You
commercials
don't
on a budget.
remove the leader of
Right.
it, Kristi Noem, if you personally don't believe there should be changes. I
Right.
mean, they moved her somewhere else. So
Right.
obviously there's going to be logistic changes.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what those changes are and how he sees the department moving forward.
Coming up in the last part of the show, we're going to be talking about those Stryker cyber attacks exposing U.S. corporations as targets for modern cyber war. We'll talk to someone from Allcom, rather, coming up. Also, where is the Supreme Leader? He's put out messages, but haven't seen him. Just ask where he is.
I love learning about long-standing Michigan family businesses, and one I'm proud to tell you about is Guernsey Farms Dairy. As a mom, I want to make sure my child gets the vitamins she needs to grow healthy, and something that helps her get that is drinking Guernsey Farms Dairy milk. Their award-winning milk, ice cream, lemonade has been a staple in Michigan fridges for over 80 years. When John McGuire started Guernsey Farms Dairy, he had a vision, and now it's continued with the family's third generation. John wanted to create a legacy for his family and the community, and the McGuire family is proud to continue that work today. I've been fortunate to see firsthand how they make their products and learn about the tradition when I met with the family. Remember, when looking for Guernsey's award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, make sure to visit your local grocer, or you could stop by their store and restaurant in Northville for an experience like no other.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
From the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, this is 760 WJR.
Listen for the SAE Ion Engineering every Monday morning on JR Morning. Ion Engineering is sponsored by CSP, the Composite Solutions Partner, an industry leader in lightweighting and advanced composites. Learn more at thecsp.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-714-9090. That's 800-714-9090.
760 WJR. Custom built for Detroit.
Fox News. I'm CJ Papa. Israeli strikes eliminated a pair of top Iranian officials.
Ali Larijani is dead, according to Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz. Larijani was seen as the de facto leader of Iran. In the aftermath of those opening strikes in Operation Epic Fury, there was a separate strike overnight. Fox News can report a top Basij commander by the name of Gholam Reza Soleimani was killed.
Fox's Trey Yanks, air travel dices, the spending squabble rolls on with Democrats refusing to fund DHS.
The impasse hitting morale among TSA workers. They missed their first full paycheck last week. TSA union leaders say many employees are coping with eviction notices, car repossessions, and overdrawn bank accounts.
That's Fox's Madam Rivera reporting. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Having trouble sleeping? Visit Mattress Firm during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sleep experts will help find your perfect bed from a premium selection of top brands. They make sleep easy.
Few crashes on the roadway slowing you down. Northbound 75 at Sibley. That crash taking up the two right lanes has traffic backed up to Dix-Toledo Highway. Southfield Freeway southbound at Schoolcraft. An accident in the left lane there. Traffic slow from Grand River. Southbound US 23 after Getty's. An accident in the left lane there causing delays to Plymouth Road. Crash taking up the right lane of northbound US 23 before Getty's Road. Traffic slow from 94. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Boeing at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Experience live professional theater at Thumbcoast Theaters in downtown St. Clair and Marine City, where the magic of Broadway comes alive right here at home. Don't miss Boeing, the hilarious comedy where one flight captain, 3 fiancés, and a flight schedule collide. Book your tickets today at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Overcast and cold today, a chance of a few flurries or snow showers throughout the day with a high of 28. Right now it's 19. Cloudy tonight, a low of 20. Partly cloudy, warmer tomorrow, high of 49. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Detroit celebrates the power of women. From the Henry Ford Museum to the Regional Chamber, we're honoring our trailblazers. Join us for local summits, jazz tributes, and community workshops through the month of March. It's time to give, to gain, and lift every voice. Find a full list of International Women's Month events at visitdetroit.com. Let's move Detroit forward together.
You know, I was doing a podcast with Chris Alberta from Principium talking about planning for retirement. And boy, did he bring home a great point. As I'm looking at the price of coffee or the price of beef going up, it makes me anxious.
Yeah, and it should. Look, the reality is that when you have a firm like ours, we don't traditionally lose clients. So they're long, ongoing relationships, and communication is key. When someone calls me 6 months or 1 year into a plan that we've built, and they say, "Chris, we've been drawing $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month from our portfolio, but we're becoming a little bit uncomfortable. The savings account is becoming a little bit dry." Great. That's why we built it the way we did, because I know that if we're operating at a minimum and we need to twist that dial up, right, and really pad the coffers a little bit more, we have the ability to do that. My job is to tell you, if the capital you have saved up is not capable mathematically of providing the income you need, you either need to work longer or adjust your expenditures.
Call Chris Alberta today, 888-800-8949. That's 888-800-8949.
Detroit is more than a destination and far more than meets the eye. From downtown to the Tri-County area, Detroit attracts 40% of Michigan visitors and generates more than $5 billion in economic activity. That's what makes Detroit the beating heart of Pure Michigan. Visit Detroit is proud to play our part by promoting the Motor City to visitors from all over the world. When we champion our workers, businesses, and communities, we can help write the next chapter in Michigan's bright future. Now's the time to discover all the treasures in Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne County. Go to visitdetroit.com to plan your experience today.
This St. Patrick's Day weekend, keep our community safe from drunk driving. If you celebrate a little too much, don't rely on the luck of the Irish. Use a ride share or designated driver from your friends at Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys.
Never miss
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose. The Daily Dose
The Daily Dose
of Deets. The Daily Dose of Deets. The top of mind topics and stories.
Because America keeps building, innovating, and growing.
But at a depth and breadth that only Kevin Dietz can conceive.
Love doesn't have to be built on these grand gestures.
It's can't miss radio.
You can't fake that kind of leadership Verlander is going to be able to bring to Scooball.
Kevin's own unique take on news and entertainment that'll get you talking all day.
Social media should not get a pass just because it's digital.
And into tomorrow. The Daily Dose of Dietz. First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz. Weekdays at 9 on WJR. Stick around for All Talk at 9 with Kevin Dietz. Then Focus with Paul W. Smith at noon on 760 WJR and on the WJR app. Now it's JR Morning. Here's Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
So Israel announced that Ali Larijani, who is one of the main players in this Iranian regime, has been killed. The security chief, according to Israel, Fox News was reporting it earlier. Reuters still in their reporting hasn't confirmed it. So the IDF made that announcement. There were some outlets that were going with it that said he was dead.
Yeah.
But he was the target of an Israeli strike. And to your point before the break was we still haven't seen from the new leadership.
No, and multiple sources familiar with the matter told CBS that U.S. intelligence has circulated to President Trump and to a small circle around him that Iran's late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei had misgivings about his son replacing him. He didn't want his son to, take over for him because he said his son was not very bright and was viewed as
Also, their whole
unqualified.
thing was heredity. They did not want to do that because
Exactly.
they overthrew a monarchy.
Correct.
That's right. And indicated that the father was aware that his son had issues in his personal life as well. But nobody has seen him. And, there's a possibility. Well, there's been reports that he was hurt in that initial strike that killed his father. But the president said yesterday that he may be dead. You know, so it's weird that we haven't seen him. We had a statement from him, last week, but nothing since then.
Well, I think he's laying low.
Well, if I'm him and I'm alive, yeah, I'm laying low.
Yeah, so I don't think
definitely doing that.
low underground,
like real
low, low,
yes,
low.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they had that big celebration when he was named. Thousands and thousands of people who support the regime came out in support. They had a cardboard cutout of him, but he wasn't there.
No, exactly.
So, yeah, the questions continue to swirl. Meanwhile, this is interesting. Carrie Prejean Bowler, who's a longtime supporter of President Donald Trump, was on Piers Morgan Uncensored this week. And she said, I've been a loyal supporter of the president for almost 20 years. This goes back to when I was 21 years old and I was Miss California at the Miss USA pageant. I've known him. I consider him a dear friend. And I will tell you right now, I do not recognize our president. She went on, I think that we are an occupied nation. I think that a foreign country has occupied our government, and we are seeing now that this president of the United States of America is being influenced by a foreign government, meaning Israel.
Israel.
She said, and as far as MAGA, let me tell you right now, MAGA is dead. It is deader than dead, and Americans are furious. We do not recognize President Donald J. Trump anymore.
I mean, I think a lot of people are struggling with this war and attacking Iran, and some people that are usually loyal to the president, like Megyn Kelly's out on this.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson.
So there might be a trend here. I don't know who that lady is, so it's kind of like, well, who are you? But
well, she is now like a part of this. Everybody's got influencers. All these parties have their influencers. Well, she's on the right.
On the right.
And she's not happy with this.
And Megyn Kelly, she said she has an issue with the attack on Iran, and she has an issue with she thinks the president is different now too. And she says she's not MAGA, she's MAGA adjacent.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Whatever you want to be, I don't really care.
It's a problem with these people with podcasts. You can just go out there, say whatever. And Megyn Kelly has certainly been saying some whatevers recently.
Yes.
Well, and again, it speaks to, I think, where the base is. And I do believe that there are, going back to Donald Trump in his first campaign, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and still win, right? And I think that still resonates. I think Donald Trump's base is, in modern American politics, we have never seen anything like this. A base that is so loyal to the head of the party that, I mean, he's been elected twice, ran 3 times. It's very staunch support. We have seen some cracks, particularly on Capitol Hill, the Marjorie Taylor Greens of it all, right? Nancy Mace to some certain extent, Lauren Boebert to a certain extent.
Yeah.
They haven't abandoned him like Marjorie Taylor Greene did, but there have been cracks in the foundation in Washington. And now we're starting to see that amongst people who are influential to other American voters who are supportive of the president. So I don't believe that the base is leaving him. I don't believe that MAGA is dead. But the realities are, in an election cycle, when affordability has been at the main forefront, when you have talked about making groceries more affordable, making gas more affordable, those are contrary now. And Donald Trump has talked about wars and not wanting to start more wars and all of those things. And that still may be a few weeks out, and it may not be a long campaign. But there are some counterintuitive measures that the president is taking that are going to impact the way people are going to vote.
Yeah.
Now, whether they vote Democrats, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do feel like they're less likely to vote for Democrats, but the excitement to vote in these midterms might not be there.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I don't think necessarily MAGA has left the president, but I think there may just not be that enthusiasm on one side, on the Republican side, as it is on the Democratic side. It might be more enthusiasm to vote in this upcoming election, more enthusiasm on the Dem side than the Republican side. I've seen polls that say that just the enthusiasm doesn't seem to be there. Not like they just totally left. It's just they're just not enthused.
Well, we talked about this like last week. Within the Republican Party, the support for this president is like the highest within the party than the other presidents who most recently
Right.
have been in charge. So these are just vocal people who have a platform and are talking about it.
Yeah, again, I think it's strange though, because the dynamic amongst these parties is they are mostly unpopular.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Democrats are. I mean, this is
Yeah.
the lowest in popularity they have ever been, and yet they might stumble into a midterm win. Right?
Yeah.
It's remarkable the way that this works. And again, we're still far away from that. Things could change and turn around and
Between
all
now
of
and
that.
November, we got 7 months to go.
But it is something to watch. And this is the fascinating part about all of this. And here's the other thing. I think that you don't ever want to take your base for granted, but at the same time, I don't know how in tune people really are. Right? If you're listening to this show, that means you want the information, you want opinions, and you want to be informed of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not everybody. That's not everybody in Nebraska or in New York or in anywhere else around the country. That might not be the case. So you have to make a very clear, you have to set the expectation of what they are so that you don't avoid a catastrophe in November.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not so sure that's what they're thinking at the moment. I'm not so sure that their mind is, how are these actions that we're taking today, how are those going to ripple into then what we're going to see towards the end of the
But how
year?
could they not be thinking about that, though, really?
I
You know?
think they're thinking of this war in Iran.
Yeah.
Cuba came up yesterday.
Yeah.
The president saying he could just take Cuba. I think foreign policy is at top of mind right now.
Yeah, I think so too. Coming up on the other side, the Stryker cyber attacks continue to show maybe a weakness amongst our companies, particularly important companies here in the United States. We'll talk to Brent Yaks next on JR Morning.
This winter might not have been the worst one on record, but it's up there. Aside from being hard on people, it's even tougher on our homes.
Three, two. Wednesday on JR Morning, a new survey shows that Michigan small businesses are struggling. We'll find 3, 2. Wednesday on JR Morning, a new survey shows that Michigan small businesses are struggling. We'll find out why. If you're a veteran, active military, or a first responder, we'll tell you about a free event you could take your family to. And it's Wednesday, so we'll play Name That Tune with you at 8:49 right here on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app.
Died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
For more than 55 years, Kitch Attorneys and Counselors has been the name Metro Detroit trusts. Since 1969, our proven defense litigation trial lawyers have delivered strategic problem-solving and proven results. At Kitch, you get comprehensive counsel tailored to your unique challenges, diverse perspectives, innovative solutions, precision, dedication, and a team committed to navigating even the most intricate legal issues. Kitch Attorneys and Counselors. Experience matters. Solutions count. Visit Kitch.com.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-902-5454. That's 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show is coming to Metro Detroit, March 28th and 29th at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. Meet builders, designers, realtors, lenders, and home improvement experts all in one place. Get real-world advice on buying, selling, renovating, staging, and creating standout home designs. Whether you're a homeowner, future buyer, or real estate professional, there's something for everyone, including family activities, prize drawings, and interactive exhibits. You could win tickets on us. Text keyword HOME to 800-859-0957. For full expo details, visit largestrealestateshow.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm. From Birmingham to Belle Isle and beyond, Guardian Alarm has kept homes and businesses safe for over 90 years with 24/7 local live monitoring. Guardian Alarm protects your neighborhood because they know your neighborhood. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT today.
On the Southfield Freeway southbound at Schoolcraft, an accident's taking up the left lane. Traffic slow from McNichols. Crash off to the left shoulder of southbound 75 after the Davison. Southbound 75 after 69, a crash there as well. A crash in the right lane of northbound US 23 before Getty's is causing delays to 94. Southbound US 23 after Getty's, an accident there in the left lane. Traffic slow from Plymouth Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Mary Grove Awnings. You built the deck, you bought the grill. Now, stop letting the sun push you around. Mary Grove Awnings, motorized, built tough. Click the remote, instant shade, and they can install in as little as 48 hours. Go to marygrove.com and book your free in-home appointment. Mary Grove, own your backyard. Here's your forecast.
Some sun's going to try to get through the clouds this morning, but I think more clouds than sun works, and maybe some snow showers as we get into the afternoon. 30 degrees. Hey, remember, it's still winter. I know it's St. Patrick's Day, but, it is still winter officially. Got a pair of twos tonight, mainly cloudy. Suburbs probably dipping into the teens. 38, cloudy, a south breeze on Wednesday. Even milder Thursday with a chance of rain will tickle 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
So I want to take you back to when those B-50 or those B-2s went and dropped those bombs as part of Operation Midnight Hammer over Iran to eliminate those nuclear facilities. What was one of the main concerns after that was, okay, well, how is Iran going to respond? And one of the concern was by cyber attacks. And we now know that the cyber attack on the medtech firm Stryker has been linked to an Iranian government hacking group. And so the concern is, how susceptible are our companies to these cyber attacks? Brent Yax is the CEO of Occom and joins us to talk about it. Brent, good morning to you. Let's talk a little bit about first of all, this particular attack. What is it? How is Stryker being impacted at this point?
Well, so right now it sounds like as of this morning, operations are back running, which means that they say that they have it uncontained, which is a big thing because it's been spreading now for 6 days. But they say it's contained and they say that operations are running again. So what it looks like from the outside is that they've been able to move past sort of the down impact from the original attack.
I mean, some experts calling incidents like this part of a broader form of cyber warfare targeting U.S. corporations. Are companies essentially becoming frontline targets now in these geopolitical conflicts?
That's the risk, right? It looks like it. I mean, from who is taking credit for this, which is an Iranian hacker group, is taking credit. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but that's what it looks like. And there was no financial claim here. There was no ransomware. Nobody asked for any money. So from the outside, 100% it looks political, which of course is scary for, private businesses, and especially ones in healthcare and other related industries, infrastructure industries. It looks like this is becoming a new way of warfare.
For people who may not know, what is Stryker? It has these medical products and a LifeNet system. What does that mean?
Right. So Stryker is just a very, very large medical manufacturer. They distribute a lot of products, surgical products, different types of devices for the healthcare industry. Now, what we do know about this is that they have said that none of the devices that they have, none of the surgical instruments, none of the medical devices that they have, none of those were affected in this. Right now, it looks like it was just the company itself, the corporate entity itself that was attacked.
So this group is a pro-Palestinian hacktivist organization. They've been active since about 2023, but security analysts say that this is linked to Iran. It's backed by Iran. It's financed by Iran. So the idea here is that Iran is retaliating against the United States in this way. How brazen is this attack? I mean, we've seen those cyber attacks of like the oil pipeline out east and things like that, but is this just a probe to see what they can get away with, and then potentially, if this continues to escalate, if the longer this war goes on, are we more likely to see these types of attacks on other companies?
Yeah, it does seem like it, right? It seems like it was kind of a shot across the bow, seeming like, hey, although our military is being attacked, and although obviously the U.S. military is quite substantial, look what we can still do. And the group, the pro-Iranian hacking group called Hindala, those are the ones who took credit for this. I would love to say that this is the only, thing that's going to happen, but look at cybersecurity. When you look at hacking in general, I mean, we see thousands of attacks a day. So yes, this was big. Yes, this made news, but it happens consistently all the time, most of the time for financial reward. This one just happened to look like it was geopolitical.
And the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, I know that they're investigating the incident, but what role does the federal government play when private companies, deal and face these cyber attacks, one of this scale?
Well, I can tell you, in our experience, whenever we have a cyber attack, one of the first calls that we make is to the FBI or to some national, security regulatory committee, because they do play a role in helping to investigate. They have some resources that are available that we wouldn't necessarily have access to. They do have the ability from a political standpoint to go to the nation states that are responsible and apply some pressure. So they actually have quite a bit of power. I wish they could do more. I wish some of the other nation states would do more. But I mean, it is a very beneficial tool having the government be involved in some of these things.
Are private companies sort of upping their security in some way to prevent this from happening to them?
They are. I would love to say it's enough. I think, from a cybersecurity standpoint, the last 5 years have changed pretty dramatically. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of companies in the U.S. are still approaching it the way we did 4 or 5 years ago. So although we're doing a lot and people are really investigating what can be done, there is more that can be done. There is more tools out there that can be used. So I'm hoping this is sort of a wake-up call and everyone says, okay, we need to take this seriously.
Brent Yaks, always appreciate the insight. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, you got it.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
At 8:55, we don't talk about this anymore. Where's Nancy Guthrie?
I know.
Yeah.
There have been no updates.
Nope.
This woman is still missing.
No.
I mean, the news cycle is quick around here, but I've been thinking about her.
This is the news cycle. It's just things get hot, they get up, and then they get pushed to the side. Like
take over,
like what's happening in Iran.
Yeah,
right.
It is unbelievable that still. I mean, nothing
month
substantial.
Of her missing.
Yeah,
yes.
and nothing at this point. And we don't know yet when Savannah Guthrie is going to come back, but we know she is going to come back at some point. But yeah, there's no updates on that, and it is very strange to me.
I mean, I guess the FBI is focusing, according to News Nation's Brian Enton, he wrote on Monday of this week that in addition to January 11th, one of Nancy Guthrie's neighbors tells him that FBI agents are interested in the date of January 24th for some reason. So maybe that's something new they're looking into.
Interesting. Amazon Prime subscribers, if you want 1 hour deliveries, they're starting to roll out 1 hour deliveries for an extra charge of $9.99. You can go $4.99 for 3 hour deliveries. They're rolling it out in a number of places: LA, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Des Moines, Boise as a couple of examples.
Mm-hmm.
They had tried this back in 2021. They discontinued it, and now they're trying to bring it back. 1 hour deliveries.
I was good with next day.
Next day's good.
I'm good with next day too. But have you guys gotten a delivery from a drone as of yet?
No.
I don't think so.
No, they're doing that. Aren't they doing that in Pontiac?
I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not gotten a drone delivery yet. That would be odd.
It would be.
But I mean, I'm on
If you
board.
got a small, item. I mean,
Yes.
need to have a giant.
You can't
truck.
have like a chair delivered via
No,
drone.
exactly.
That would be problematic. All right, that's going to do it for us. Kevin Dietz and All Talk coming your way next here on WJR. Happy St. Patty's Day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex saline from Vicks.